Hello and welcome to British Mini Bikes. We're here at a lovely sunny, as you can see on your TV screen there, Three Sisters Race Circuit in Wigan. In case you didn't notice, it is raining quite a bit. It's an incredibly wet circuit today, and a bit of drama out there that we've had this morning. I'm one of your commentators, Anthony Jordan. Joining me in the comms box again for round 9 is Jacob Harris. Jacob, how are you?
Good afternoon, Anthony. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, we're tucked away in this lovely commentary box, out of the rain. I feel a bit sorry for the competitors and the cameramen out there, and the marshals, of course, who are all standing around in this in the rain. It's coming down quite hard, isn't it?
Yes, you are very brave if you're out there this afternoon. The weather, as it is across the UK, isn't the best.
It's pretty dismal, isn't it? And yesterday in practice, it was just as bad. We had massive amounts of torrential downpour throughout the session. I remember the session straight after lunch was delayed slightly due to, well, the heavens opened really, and completely flooded the circuit. And due to conditions today, the circuit has actually changed from the normal layout that you would usually run for British mini bikes. Now, as you would exit turn 1, usually you would go down a small straight into a very tight left-hand sort of hairpin up the hill and then through the chicane. Now, we're not doing that layout today because through the chicane there is a large amount of standing water and it has been deemed unsafe to race in. So out of turn 1, it's immediately left round a slight hairpin onto the infield straight towards the sort of boot section here at Three Sisters. So we've skipped out half the circuit. So lap times are now looking around the 48 to 49 second time. So as you can tell, a much shorter lap that they've got out there. But again, that's all down to, of course, rider and track safety out there. That's why that decision has been made. So you're going to see a bit of an interesting start to a couple of these races where, because half the field, this decision was made to change the circuit not long ago. So half the grids didn't actually practice on this circuit layout. So they've had to incorporate a warm-up session at the beginning of each race 1 for the classes. So they have got some time to learn the circuit that they're going on.
Yeah, the decision was made about an hour ago, actually. You and I were just walking over to the comms box on our way back from lunch. And yes, those of you who joined us earlier in the year for the BMB round here at Three Sisters will remember that first turn was essentially a hairpin. It was a full-on 180 degrees turn back on yourselves. It's now more of a 90-degree affair, going into another 90-degree left-hander, which brings you down to Luna, the long right-hander that I'm sure you'll remember. In fact, it's on your screens now. You'll see them coming out on this right-hand side piece of tarmac, straight to there from the start-finish straight, as opposed to coming down that hill through the chicane, as you said, Anthony.
Yes, and I did have a go on that yesterday in the horrible wet conditions. Second time on one of the mini bikes this round or this season. Someone said, "Oh yeah, go out in the vets class. That will be all right." I don't think it was all right. I was petrified. They were so much faster than me. But I did have a go, and yeah, it was. It's a fantastic circuit. It's super wide, super fast. You can just feed the power in all the way around. But even in these wet conditions, the wet tyre compound that these bikes are on, it's like it's dry. The traction that they've got is unbelievable. And it's amazing of how much control you've got even in these conditions. But you do have to watch out for that standing water. That is the main problem.
Yes, there's certainly going to be a few grip issues out there today. Like you said, the wet tyres are working their magic, but you're going to find a couple of puddles here and there, and varying grip throughout the day as it starts and stops raining all afternoon. It's not been a constant downpour here, so grip changes are likely to happen.
Yeah, I'd say the rain has been on and off with it out there, and it's the rain. Let's say it was downpouring earlier quite a bit. It's eased off a bit now, but again, it's on and off. It's on and off all day, and that's going to be a massive shame for some of the riders who are trying to concentrate. It's cold as well. It's not that warm. If you're riding along and you're getting wetter and wetter as the races go on, you're gonna get fatigued really quickly. And I know that from riding on the road, where I've done long journeys in cold conditions. I did a journey to France, and it was raining the whole way, and I was frozen solid. But it was yeah, it was around this time of year, but it was just because it was wet that, yeah, you freeze. So drivers have really got to keep warm in this as well.
And don't forget, you got 2 races out there, Anthony, so it's not as if you can go back in after your first race and warm yourself up. You got to go straight back out there and get on your bike again this afternoon. 2 12-lap races we're hoping to bring you from each category, although time permitting. We will let you know as and when we know more about the length of time of the races. But we have been quite lucky recently in British mini bikes and got through a fair few 12-lappers.
Yeah, no, we have, and of course it all varies on the circuit. Of course, this one much longer circuit, but because we've cut it down now as well, so we should get through those 12 laps fairly easy. But as I say, you can just see there from these camera pictures how wet the circuit is. It's just there's water everywhere, and there's these tricky downhill, uphill sections with the braking zones as well that you've really got to be paying attention to what you're doing, and the spray that these bikes are lifting up as well, because of these tyres are excellent. And having a go yesterday, they were saying that some of the BSB riders would say that these tyres are nearly identical, if not as good as what tyres that they would have for that. So we have got some comments coming in. And the first one that we've seen come up here definitely says what we're thinking of. Yeah, so rainy here. It really is. It's terrible out there.
Yes, thank you very much for getting in touch. Do keep your comments coming in throughout the day. We'll do our best to get the best ones out on the screen. Lots of support coming in for our younger riders at the minute, as always, and we love reading out your comments, so keep them coming. Anthony's at the laptop, ready and waiting to send them out on the screen. Send them in across Facebook, YouTube. If you want them on your TV, YouTube's the best one to use, but if you're at your laptop or on your iPad, Facebook's just as good. We're across the BMB social media pages today.
So, message from Ben Martin. What time do you start? So that all depends on because they're technically on the lunch break now. We're starting now, so it depends on when that finishes and when it comes out. But we're hoping probably to get going in the next few minutes or so. Just have to wait until we can hear those engines fire up in the paddock. And we'll hopefully get that to you. So hopefully not too long. So please do bear with us. But again, lots of messages coming in. Got messages. Chloe Jones here. Good luck to Ryan and Harley. Wish I was there. Well, yeah. If you wish you were here, we're in the dry conditions. As you can see, the wind is picking up as well. So and there's another shot there from one of our other cameras. Again, as you can see, the camera there struggling to see the circuit just through the amount of rain that's on there. Hopefully the cameramen have got some cloths out there to keep those cameras clear. This is a good shot. You can see most of the circuit from here, a long back straight section there. The little grey container you can see to the left-hand side of your screen. That's the commentary box. That's where we're tucked away. And yeah, we're nice and dry in there. Wouldn't say we're warm, but we're definitely dry.
No, I've still got my jacket on, Anthony.
Yeah.
I think it's going to stay on for the duration. Coming up today, we got 8 different races, and I believe 6 different classes. First up, we'll have our junior SM65s, the Metrikits, and the IMR Racing Mini GPs. On pole position for that one is Harley McCabe. Race number 2 will be your pit bike stock 140s. This is a 2-grouper. So Sean Betton is on pole position for Group 2, and Ben Lord has taken pole position in race 3, which is Group 1. The Super Minis are up after them. Dane Blackburn will be leading the way in that one, followed by race 5, the pit bike veterans, Mark Davis on pole position. Race 6 will be your Mini GP 110s, and your junior SM90s. Zach Weston set the fastest lap time this morning in that. And then you've got the 2 groups of the pit bike stock 160s. Callum Brown starts in first position for Group 2, and then Mark Davis takes the second pole position of the day for race number 8.
There we go. So, and these guys seriously quick in these conditions as well. Absolutely flying around this circuit. Now, apparently we have got marshals heading back out to their relevant posts, so it looks like we're going to get going very soon. Of course, you'll probably see the medical car come out as well at some point, just to do a sighting lap, just to make sure all is well. And of course, there will be a 3-lap warm-up before the start of this race. So when you see the bikes come out, they won't be stopping straight away on the grid. There will be a bit of time before that gets going. So you'll get an understanding of how much spray that these bikes pick up out there, and they do. And when there's a grid of 20-odd bikes, it's a wall of water really that you're riding through, and it's it's absolute carnage out there really when you're riding. But these guys have got the skill to keep that going, and we'll just have to see what we can do. So as we can see on some of our other cameras, the cameramen working furiously to try and keep those lenses clear from the rain. Of course, with some of the camera directions, they're kind of facing in towards the impending doom of rain, and the camera lenses are getting covered fairly quickly. So they'll work hard today to try and keep those lenses clear. There is the medical car. He's going the wrong way around the circuit, so fancied a bit of a diversion. He's making his way around the circuit again. He's going to get into his position as he whizzes past the comms box.
Should be on that little infield, just to the right of his shot, which has now gone out. There he goes as he pulls in.
Don't get stuck. That is a bog in that grass. It is not the most ideal place to drive over. And you can see the tyre marks that he's left with how much he's sunk into the ground. So I'm sure the track will be very happy that he's done that. But yeah, so medical cars in position. Marshals heading out to their positions as well. Actually, look, he dropped off one of the marshals. There you go. He didn't want to walk out. So
not in this rain, Anthony.
No. Who would want to walk out in this rain? Who'd want to ride in this rain? These guys are committed today. I love it. But as he heads over to his marshal spot, hopefully we'll get the racing underway very, very shortly. So the IMR Racing stock will be heading out next. And of course, we'll have a grid for you. Hopefully, it will appear on your screen in just a moment. Here we go. Here's your starting grid for race 1 of the day. Harley McCabe on pole position with Ryan Frost very close behind in second place. Luca Allen in third. Harvey Lathrop rounding out your second grid. Luca Hopkins in 5th. Mason Greasley in 6th. Nathan Ellis Ward in 7th. And Charlotte Macuso in 8th. 9th place is Daniel Goodman, Lucas Hill in 10th, Tara Collymore in 11th, and Ty Butler in 12th. Zach Weston in 13th, with Oshin Thomas there in 14th. Alfie Davidson in 15th place, with George Bowes in 16th. Jacob Stevenson in 17th, Holly Reeves in 18th, Ruby Booth in 19th place, Harry Pell in 20th, Reece Stevenson's, George Wood, and Nathan Ellis Ward. No time set in 21st, 22nd, and 23rd out on the grid. So I can hear some engines now, as you can see there, making their way round the circuit. And as you can see, cutting half the track there as they make their way round to the grid. Of course, these guys, I believe, will be getting a few more warm-up laps.
Just to call out the Metrikit GP riders in this one, Anthony. The top 2 are JSMs, but Luca Allen in 3rd place is on a Metrikit, as is Luca Hopkins, just Hopkins. Sorry, got a few friends called Hopkinson. Luca Hopkins in 5th is on a Metrikit, and Charlotte Marcuso in 8th is 3rd in terms of Metrikits. Dan Goodman and Lucas Hill are 9th and 10th on the Metrikits as well. So 50-50 balance between Metrikits and JSMs in the top 10.
Yeah, so it's a mixed-up grid slightly, isn't it? So obviously, hopefully they try not to trip over each other and they keep up into their relevant classes. But of course, it is very easy to get tangled up within another bike and just start battling and losing time to the guys in front, even though you're not even racing each other. You may be battling for that position, but you're not in the same class. So yeah, don't try not to battle them too much. And as you can see, they're making their way back around. It's just so horrible conditions out there. A lot of the riders in wet weather riding gear as well. Yesterday, I didn't have any of that, so I was wearing summertime leather race suit, and it got soaked. Yeah, and so did I. It was horrible. Horrible. Take my hat off to these guys today. I really do.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Anthony.
Oh, it was terrifying.
I myself was at a wedding yesterday and also got soaked in similarly unsuitable attire.
You were wearing a one-piece leather race suit at a wedding?
I wasn't, but I was wearing a suit.
Oh,
and
good.
it wasn't doing anything in terms of keeping the rain off me.
No, I suspect it probably wouldn't. But
This is the shot from the top of the hill. You can see that rise at the back of your shot there. It really is quite steep once you're here in person, and you'll notice the speed difference between certain riders going up that back straight. During some of the races, we certainly saw the younger riders in the adult classes, the likes of Zach Shelton and Chase Collymore, like to step up on occasion. You'll notice that they see quite a decent advantage from their slightly smaller stature going up that hill.
I also discovered in my short practice session yesterday that there is a horrible, horrible bump on the apex as you go up that hill. So it is a flat-out corner. In the dry conditions, you could take that flat, I suspect. But because of that bump, if you try to do it, I suspect you'll have a nice off. So, yeah, it's a horrible, horrible little bump. But like I say, I tried it. I had a bit of a moment on it, I have to say, because I lifted for it. And then, yeah, it kind of unsettled the bike massively. And I almost ruined someone's bike for today's race. Luckily, I did not, and it was fine. So there we go. There's the small warm-up session completed, and the riders are going to line up on the grid. And as you can see there, the rain is coming down quite a lot. As you can see there, all the marshals and nice umbrellas there for the starts. It's probably not going to help now. He's already soaked from those 3 laps. But nonetheless, every little helps.
Just to run you through your order again, then to your right-hand side is your poleman, Harley McCabe, with the red wheels. With the luminous yellow, you got Ryan Frost in second. Luca Allen on the black and white bike in third place. Harvey Lathrop starts in fourth in the black helmet, blue, white and yellow bike. Also on a blue, white and yellow bike in fifth place is Luca Hopkins. And then behind him is Mason Greasley. Nathan Ellis Ward, Charlotte McCuso and Dan Goodman are the other riders in your picture.
Yeah, so as you can see there, looks like we're almost ready to go. Haven't got our usual shot of straight down the grid. We've just got a side shot from this one. So it's, we've got a stall there in the mid-pack. That is the 4th place rider. Harvey Lathrop, yeah. He's had to jump off that, get it restarted. And it looked like he went to go there, didn't it? So revs rise. And it looks like we're going to get going, and it's a good start from Ryan Frost. Ryan Frost broke away there straight away, and instantly away there. I think, has he got to the front? I think he may have got to the front. No, he hasn't. Still in second place, so no, he was still tucked up away there. So it's still Harley McCabe there leading. Ryan Frost very close behind in these very treacherous conditions. And that's that's Luca Allen there, still in third place, but of course on one of the mini GPs.
Great start from the top 3, and good to see them all attacking Luna Bend. First time round here, we see them coming up the hill for the very first time. Front 3 pulling away already. Yeah,
the front 3, as you say, really pulled up a massive gap already and down into that tricky braking zone. And our leader there, Harley McCabe, missing the apex in that first section. And you can see the standing water on the grid there as they're going round. So, yeah, they have to really keep an eye on that one, as they've broken away now into that smaller section. Now as they come back, and there is a stalled bike, and where is that? Is that on the back straight?
Looks to be Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
There he is.
Who have we got there? It is one of the mini GPs.
The 118, I think. Let's have a look who that is. I don't think we have a 118, but may well be Alfie Davidson on the metric kit.
Potentially, and back with our front guys here. We've got some serious pressure from Ryan Frost, from Luca Allen. Luca Allen all over the back, of course, in a different class, so they don't need to race each other. But, of course, are you going to tell them that? No, I'm not. These guys are fully going for it. So these top 3, Harley McCabe, Ryan Frost, Luca Allen, they're still battling their way through now. And we'll hopefully try and get the timing tower up at the side of the screen for you as well, so you can see all the action on the screen as well. Here's the guys a little further back. This is Harvey Lathrop and Luca Hopkins as well. They're having a close little battle there in 4th and 5th. Then we've got the 6th, 7th and 8th, and then the long train of bikes here as they all slot through in these lovely conditions. And here comes Luca Allen on Ryan Frost, and he gets the move done as they go up the hill. And that is Luca Allen straight away back into P2, chasing down now Harley McCabe for the lead.
Interesting lines through this last corner. You'll see some standing water toward the curb on the edge, which Harley McCabe seems to be picking up as a habit. The back marker getting in his way a little bit there as well.
Yeah, Ryan Frost having to go around the outside of that, around the second corner, the left-hander now as they go into the boot section. So is the longer way around, unfortunately, for Ryan Frost, but managing to get it done. Now here again comes Luca Allen on the straight, gets that power down, looks like feeling much more confident, holding a much tighter line, getting into that slipstream now, watching that spray. And then is he going to try and pull out and go down the inside here like he did on Ryan Frost? But no, not this time. So Luca Allen stays in second place, but keeping Harley McCabe innocent.
It is very wet up there. They are very, very close, these three. Watch the lines through the corner again on the exit, picking up that standing water as the 28 bike now.
That's Mason Greasley.
Issues. Mason Greasley is out of this one from 6th place.
That's a massive shame for Mason Greasley there, and it's super easy to, well, the bike to flood, really, isn't it? There's lots of water out there, and of course these are only small bikes, very low to the ground, so it's very easy for them to get a bit clogged up with dirt or water or anything like that. So massive shame there for Mason Greasley from 6th place.
Yellow flag showing going into Luna for the top three, so no change, but Frost is coming back at Luca Allen here, heading up the hill. I think Allen's got a bit of a pace advantage though.
You say that, but Ryan Frost has closed that gap back up again, so Ryan Frost is still right there alongside. Last lap, Ryan Frost was faster by about 1/10 of a second, well, he was faster than both Harley and Luca, and there is the recovering Mason Greasley. He's back onto the circuit now, back with the race leaders, and it is still these three, McCabe, Allen, Frost, in that order. Again, McCabe going wide, so I don't know if that's the racing line that we want to go through, as the yellow flag's still out in that section as they come back through. 4 laps to go, and they'll be coming up the hill in just a moment on the back straight. Here they are, and they've got some more company again of one of the back markers, and again Luca Allen round the outside of Ryan Frost. It looked like Ryan was going for a move there, but that gap is closing on McCabe. McCabe under some serious pressure now from both Allen and Frost. Now let's just see what we do down into the final corner. Again, very tricky braking zone in that one, through a couple of those puddles, avoiding the massive one that's on the inside there. Luckily it's off the racing line and they don't need to go anywhere near it. But 3 laps to go, and it's all to play for still between these three. McCabe fighting strong at the moment at the front.
Just half seconds separated these three as they went over the line the last time, and look at Allen now, Anthony. Back marker comes into play.
Back marker getting out of the way of that one quite cleverly, and yeah, Allen all over the back of McCabe now, but it looks like McCabe just can get the power on there, can't they, on the back straight? And let's just see what we can do into the braking zone. It does seem to be the infield section where Allen is faster than McCabe, but then coming onto that back straight, yeah, McCabe can just close it up. So yeah, it's an interesting way these bikes are working out there in these conditions. But again, 7 laps down, 2 to go, and let's just see. So it looks like races are 9 laps. I think that's due to, of course, being the 3-lap warm-up that we've got now. As we lost that camera there due to, I think, windy conditions, and we've got another bike coming off the circuit. I don't know if that was Mason Greasley
again.
Yeah, I believe it is. So
Luca Allen supremely close again coming out of Luna, but I think it's McCabe's advantage down that straight that's keeping him in the lead in this one.
Yeah, I think McCabe's got some good skill out there, and really loving the Three Sisters circuit here. It is a very fast, open circuit, kind of like Teesside, and lots of support coming in for Harley there. So, but Harley's under some severe pressure from Allen, and of course Allen has also got the supporters for young Luca, as you can see there. So plenty of people watching these top 2, or top 3 I should say, because Ryan Frost, he's still there, isn't he? You know, he's right there. If he's probably just holding back, biding his time, and you know, he's just going to see whether or not these guys are going to open a gap for him and see what they can do. But here we go. Here comes Luca Allen again, holding that tighter line, but you can just see on the straight, just can't keep up with the pace, can he?
No, just a reminder that Luca Allen is on the Metricate GP, so this isn't necessarily for class lead. They're both leading their respective classes.
That is very true, actually. They are in totally different classes. So, like I say, at the beginning, they didn't need to race each other, but they will do. And it's the last lap, and the checker flag has come out there for the leaders. And I believe Harley McCabe took it there. I couldn't quite see who took it.
He did indeed. Anthony Harley McCabe wins that one. Luca Allen comes in second place. Ryan Frost in third. Great racing from the top three.
Yeah, good little race from them. Fourth place, Luca Hopkins as well. They just crossed the line as well. Harvey Lathrop there, fifth place. Charlotte Macuso and Lucas Hill in seventh as well. Then we'll go down to Daniel Goodman crossing the line in eighth. Then Teo Collymore will be crossing the line as ninth there. And then the top 10 round out by Ty Butler, Nathan Ellis Ward, Ocean Thomas, Jacob Stevenson, Ruby Booth in 14th place, Holly Reeves in 15th, and then it's Zach Weston, George Bowes, and then I believe Mason Greasy and Harry Pell won't finish the race due to mechanical issues on the bike. So good race one for the day, and despite the conditions, and we'll be heading over to the next race soon.
That'll be the Pit Bike Stock 140s Group 2.
So we will have the next group coming out in just a moment. Of course, it's the Parker Racing lot, and these guys can race out there. They are very, very quick, and it'd be the Group 2 that's coming out first. So we've got quite a few riders with us this round, so two separate groups out there. And we'll hopefully get the grids up on the screen for you in just a moment. We'll get those out for you so we can do that, but support coming in throughout there. Here is your B group for race one of the Pit Bike Stock 140. Joe Woodward in first position. Dan Merrin in second place with John O'Dowd in third. Brendan Downing in fourth place with Ian Walker in fifth. Chris Edwards in sixth position. And Brian Benton in seventh. James McMillan, I should say, in eighth. Craig Spencer in ninth. Darren Hall in 10th. Matthew Corbett in 11th place with Adam Pipes in 12th. Phil Harvey in 13th place, Jack Wolf in 14th, Daniel Pearson in 15th, and Ty Kinton in 16th. Both no time set. Simon Wadsworth, Ben Sutter, Stephen Tempest, and Chris Grieve, all four of them rounding at top 20, all no time set as well. So those guys will be heading out on the circuit in just a moment as well, and of course they'll be doing their 3-lap warm-up due to the track change also. So we'll get this race out in just a moment, as we saw a couple of bikes go past us there as they're making their way out onto the circuit. So we're going to see if we can try and get the grid cam up, I believe. So we do have a grid cam, and we'll get that one up and running for you so we can see down the grid, not from the sides. That should make it a bit nicer for everyone watching. And for us as well, because it's much easier to see what happens at the start, really, isn't it? To see where the flags are, because we didn't know really where the race was starting, did we?
We didn't. Slight word on the grid, Anthony. I think we're going to get a different grid to what you just read out.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, let's have a look who's out on track. You were expecting Joe Woodward on pole position. There's Joe Woodward, actually. You might have to ignore me on this one. There's two different screens on the Alpha Timing website. One which says the results of qualifying, one which says the grid for Pit Bike Stock 140s Race 1B. And producer James and I were just disagreeing over which one to go with. But fingers crossed we've gone with the right one.
Well, hopefully. We'll see when they get to the grid, won't we? And we'll see who's in the right spot, and we'll try and relay that to you. But support coming in for this class as well. And they are all out there. We'll try and get your messages up as and when we can. But like I say, lots of rain out there. The rain has not subsided. It is still coming down, as you can see on the screen there. And it does make you wonder, at what point do they start to think about safety over racing? And that is a question side of it. And of course, they will have already discussed this, and you know, it's the first priority is safety, of course, and that is why they've changed the circuit layout for one, because of that issue. But then you've got the idea of spray, and you know, we've seen lots of racing in tricky conditions, you know, and these bikes can do it. These bikes can race in these conditions. It's it's horrible, isn't it?
Absolutely, Andrew. We only have to look at the first race of the day. Those young lads out there in our junior category were absolutely fantastic. They were going at it with each other. The top three really racing hard, and no incidents to speak of. You know, a few bike failures, but I didn't see anyone hit the ground.
No, that's very true. So you can see there that these bikes can 100% handle it, and of course the only issue that these bikes have got is, of course, standing water. But like I say, they've already dealt with that by cutting the track really in half, haven't they? So that issue itself has been rectified. The rest of the track is pretty well catered for in terms it can handle the amount of water that's coming down. Just one of the parts of the circuit just couldn't quite do it. So yeah, it's one of those. So they have thought of it, and you know, it should be good. And it looks like they're actually onto the grid now already. So those 3 laps went quickly, didn't they?
They did indeed. And we are so quickly that we haven't been able to get our start line camera working.
Our producer James has run out in his shorts. He's wearing shorts today. Can you believe it? Hopefully we'll get him on camera. He's
not made the best of choices in terms of his wardrobe, Anthony, but he's made a good choice to run down in between this one.
Yes.
Get us that start line camera.
Yeah, we'll try and get it up for you as soon as we see it. We can see it on... oh, actually, I think he's got it. I think he's just going to try and give the lens a bit of a wipe first before we can go, because it's been out there for a while, and yeah, the lens has got a bit covered. But as you can see there on the front, I can't see the number of the person in front, so I can't confirm if that is Joe Woodward.
We think it is, though. Green flag is up, ready to race. And away we go. Good start from the front row. That man in 5th position's got up to 3rd already. That's the 2-3-1. Might be Chris Edwards. I believe
Chris Edwards. It is Chris Edwards, yeah up to P3 already. And they go through, and it's again, you can see the spray there as they dive through this section. There was an accident at this corner the other day, and a lot of oil went down on the outside of that part of the circuit. So anyone who gets forced out wide is going to be in a lot of trouble. But as you can see, everyone holding close to that inside line, they all get through and past the commentary box they go. 4th place man at the moment, all flying through the top 4, breaking away.
Yeah, good start from pole position from Joe Woodward. He's hold the lead now as we come around to complete the first lap down the opposite side of this hill. Slight blind spot for the live streamer here. They are coming through the last corner. Timing will confirm our order now. Joe Woodward crosses the line first, as expected. Then who have we got, Anthony?
No, it's Ian Walker. Ian Walker in front, yeah, on the 115. So Ian Walker at the front of the pack. Joe Woodward in 2nd. Then it's John O'Dowd and Chris Edwards. So that is the order, and there's a big wobble there from one of the riders there further back. I think that was Craig Spencer.
Woodward goes back up the inside into Luna. He must have lost that lead, Anthony, going up the hill, because he was in the lead, as I mentioned, the blind spot. He's got Ian Walker back. Walker in 2nd place. John O'Dowd now in 3rd. Chris Edwards in 4th.
There we go. So just as we say it switches back. So these guys really committed to getting down the inside. They're not afraid to go for that lunge even in these conditions. So there we go. Up the hill now, as you can really see that rain pounding down, as that marshal's not standing in his hut. He's a madman. But there we go. Down the final corner, and these start to concertina back up now. So you've got that pack of 5, 6, 7, 8 bikes avoiding that inside puddle. There's a move down the inside from the 23. And that's Chris Edwards. Chris Edwards looking down the inside. Can't quite do it this time, I can't believe, but he is up into P3 though.
Great start from this Group 2 race. Plenty more action to come. We're going to have another 9-lapper due to the 3 laps of practice. They come into Luna now for the 3rd time.
Yeah, so again, feeding up that power, getting onto the back straight through these conditions. That spray kicking up now, causing a massive upside for these. For the questions out there, Zach Shelton, what CC are these motorbikes? I believe they're 140s, aren't they?
They are the 140 group, yes.
Yes, so there we go. And 3 wide there, the pack there, as they go down into the braking zone, into the final corner now. the top 4 and the 3 behind giving a very close battle. And there's the 23 diving to the inside. Can't quite do it this time. Chris Edwards on Ian Walker. Couldn't quite match it. Then our 4th place man, John O'Dowd on the 183. He's going to try to look for a move, and that is a rider who seems to have had a bit of a mishap with his bike. I can see an 88 is out there, and it's Jack Wolf.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jack Wolf had a couple of issues at Lyd, didn't he, Anthony?
He did indeed, yeah.
Looks like his bad luck has followed him up north.
Yeah, massive shame for him, but here comes the field, past the commentary box, up the hill now as they go through. Our race leader, Joe Woodward, has managed to open up a small gap. He's still under pressure, though, from the guys behind, Ian Walker, Chris Edwards and John O'Dowd. They're keeping him on his toes as they go down again into the braking zone. Now the number 23, Chris Edwards, really good around this section here. I say that, but he's under pressure from O'Dowd now. O'Dowd looking down the inside, and there's another rider just back as well, Daniel Pearson. John O'Dowd takes the position from Chris Edwards. Chris Edwards now down into P4. Daniel Pearson has closed up as well and is going to be looking on the number 23 as well. Yellow flags out in this sector. That will be due to the broken down Jack Wolf, who will be recovering and trying to get into a safe spot. So no overtaking through that section. But the front lot have seemed to have slotted into a single file, but then back, a little further back, you've got the 23, 77, 41 and 65. Chris Edwards, Pearson, Spencer and McMillan. They are all having a close little scrap. There's the 77 and the 23. So Daniel Pearson has got in front of Chris Edwards as well. So that's Daniel Pearson down another spot into P5. So struggling in these conditions now. He was doing well at the start. Now he's just trying to try and get back up. What have you found there?
Just the rules and regulations. It's any stock 140cc horizontal pick bike engine allowed to be used in this class.
Oh, there we go. So these guys are all over the case in terms of these conditions, absolutely flying through. But it's so easy to make a slight error in these conditions, but these guys are seamless. These guys have got some serious practice out on this circuit and in these conditions that they can just crack on in any conditions. But yeah, for me it was petrifying, and I was terrified and I went very slow. But these guys down into the final corner. It is still Joe Woodward, I should say, on the 46. He's under some pressure, though, from the guys behind, and it's Daniel Pearson looking down the inside of Ian Walker. Can't quite get it done. So Daniel Pearson is absolutely flying through this pack now. He was down in 7th place, I think, on this group, and now he's slotted back up into P3 now. So he is definitely one to keep an eye on throughout this race. He's got Ian Walker next in front of him, who we've already seen him try to do a move on into turn 1. But Joe Woodward not under any pressure at the moment. But here we go on to the back straight, and it is Daniel Pearson on Ian Walker, who is going to come into shot first. As they go up the hill now.
It is Pearson. Pearson's got the move done, going up the hill, and he goes to the lead as well.
Can he do it? They're going to come down the hill now into shot.
And he's done it.
He has done it, yeah. Wow, he's absolutely flying out there. So Daniel Pearson, straight away, 2 positions in this one lap alone, and you'll see it update on your timing table. Hopefully we'll get that up for you, but these guys are absolutely flying through. So, new rundown of the order. It is Daniel Pearson, Joe Woodward, Ian Walker, John O'Dowd, James McMillan, Craig Spencer, Chris Edwards, Brendan Downey, Stephen Tempest in 9th, Darren Hall crossing the line in 10th as well. Then it's Matthew Corbett, Adam Pipes, Phil Harvey, and of course we've had Jack Wolf retire from the race. So
Woodward gets a good run out of Luna, Anthony, going up Oblivion now. He's chasing down Daniel Pearson. He's not giving up on this one yet. Pearson with the fastest lap last time around, a full half a second quicker than anyone else has gone in this race, and a full second quicker than Joe Woodward did last time around. It's going to be a lot closer than that on this one. As you see, Woodward pull to the inside, thinks better of a move this time around. Yeah, Woodward 0.2 of a second quicker than Pearson on that lap.
Yeah, there we go. So the guys further behind as well. You've got John O'Dowd and Ian Walker. They're having a close little scrap. And again, there's
Woodward to the inside and takes the lead, Anthony.
Yep, that was a good move down the inside there. It's quite a fast entry into that corner. Looks much more inviting than you think. But here we go, on to the back straight. And let's see who's got the power up the hill. And here we go. It's down the inside, looking like Pearson. It goes to switches to the outside. Hasn't got the ideal line now as they go up the hill. Now he's going to try and hold it under braking, and we'll see what we can do as they appear into shot. And it is the last lap as the timing board has now come up, and that camera is very wet as well. You can see there the tricky conditions out there. But the checker flag has gone out for Daniel Pearson, who takes the win as one of the bikes there has to go through the inside puddle. But Daniel Pearson takes the win for the B race with the stock 140s. Joe Woodward in second, John O'Down in third, Craig Spencer in fourth with Chris Edwards in fifth, Ian Walker in sixth place as well. Next, hopefully, to crossing the line will be, it's Brendan Downey actually. He's moved up into seventh. James McMillan down into eighth. Stephen Tempest in ninth. Darren Hall 10th. Matthew Corbett in 11th. Phil Harvey crosses the line in 13th. Adam Pipes crosses the line in 12th. And, of course, Jack Wolf finishing 14th, 7 laps down after retiring early. So, of course, we'll be heading over to the A race next. So, please stay tuned. So the A race will be coming out in just a moment, and we've got some grids for you. So we'll get the grids up and we'll see who is where. So for the A race of the stock 140s, Ben Lord will be starting on pole position. Ryan Tyres in second place with Ben Klukas in third. Mick Lord in fourth place. Jim Lovell in fifth. Phil Dickens in sixth place with Chase Collymore in seventh. Sean Benton there in eighth place. Simon Patterson in 9th, Chris Heimers in 10th place, John Buckle in 11th place, and Davron Allen there in 12th. Simon James Dean in 13th, Lewis Caldio there in 14th place, Max Bartle in 15th with Ben Nixon in 16th. Scott Ray in 17th with Matthew Davis in 18th, Sebastian Barron in 19th with Ian Rogerson rounding out your top 20 in 20th position, of course, 111.8. So they'll be heading around the circuit now in these conditions. And you can just see there, that is the grid. So we've got that camera up. So it's been handled a bit with those wet conditions, hasn't it?
Yes, we're expecting a slightly better view of the start. You can see that puddle on the left-hand side. The bigger grids really are going to suffer if someone has to park their bike up in that and get going. Just standing yellow flag there at pit exit. Just so people know, it is still the warm-up laps. There's the same there on the marshal post on entry to Luna. Shout out for Chase Collymore, stepping up to the senior classes once more. I think it's recently been his 14th birthday.
Yep, so he's moving on up there.
Minimum age for this category is 14 years. We've seen the junior SM 65s today, have we, Anthony? Which is 9 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're on to the SM Stock 140s, which is 14 plus. Yes, Chase, one of our younger riders. Look forward to him chasing people up that hill, using his youthly advantage, having not grown to full size yet.
You know, one of the smaller riders out there, isn't he? Of course, there's quite a few adults in this class as well. So, but I have to say, some of the adults still, you know, they're keeping Chase on his toes, though, aren't they? We've seen it where Chase has been at the top, but not first. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one, just throughout the race, just to see what they can do. So it looks like they're probably going to be stopping this time. As very brave Marshall just stood in the middle of the circuit, put his arms out, hoping that everyone would see him and stop. I wouldn't do that. But there we go. But it looks like we're going to get going for the A race in just a moment. So I feel sorry for the people who've got to start the race in the puddle. I think they're probably going to not start in the puddle, but the grid spots are in that puddle.
Yes, indeed. So it's Ben Lord to the front of the grid. That's the red and black suit with the white helmet to his left. And just behind him on your screens, Ryan Tyers has the what looks to be a waterproof jacket on. White and black helmet. In third place with the black puffer jacket, by the looks of things, is Ben Klukas. Mick Lord is in fourth place with the lime green livery. Looks like we're nearly ready to go.
And some nice banter there from Luke Westerman. But it is very tricky conditions out there. The green flag goes, and it's a good start from Ben Lord. Ryan Tyers as well gets away. Ben Klukas and Mick Lord as well. The top four all managing to get a good start, but there is one bike there in the middle of the grid that didn't get away. And unfortunately, I don't know who that is because we couldn't quite see the number. But here you can go. The water on the camera there playing havoc with our little view. But as they go on to the back straight now, it is still Ben Lord leading from Ryan Tyers.
Yeah, good start from the front row of the grid. Both of those leading the way up the hill now. Expect to see them battling out for the next 9 laps, or 8 and a bit, as we now have left.
Yeah, they'll come down the hill now into the tricky braking zone of the final corner, and then it's back onto the start-finish straight. A very small start-finish straight as well, not the longest. So straight away braking into turn 1, where usually they'd go all the way around, but now no, they come back through that left-hander, really cutting the circuit in half. So there's the tower that appears. So the fastest rider crossing the line that time was Ryan Tyers in P2. He's doing a very good job there, keeping Ben Lord on his toes as they go round. So you've got the top two, Ben Lord, Ryan Tyers, and then you've got the second two, Ben Klukas and Jim Lovell as well. And then just behind these four is young Chase Collymore.
Yeah, good start from Chase, up 2 positions from his grid. You can see there Ben Lord fending off Ryan Tyers for the time being. Chase Collymore's caught right up to the back of that 4th and 5th place battle, Anthony. Like we said, going up the hill, he's going to have the pace advantage.
Yeah, there we go. So he's really closing in on that. Whether or not he can try and get past, that is the next question. Jim Lovell gets past Ben Klukas. He moves up into 3rd place. So there you go, position changes all the way throughout as they dive down into this section here of Luna.
If we're keeping an eye on this battle going up the hill, Anthony, keep an eye on Chase at the back of it. He closed right up to them this time last lap.
So we'll do it all, and there's a rider in the mud, and I can tell you now he'll be sinking if he stays there too long. It's quite muddy through that section as they go through. They'll come down the hill now, and let's just see who appears first. So there's quite a big gap, and here's Chase. Chase has got past Klukas, so Chase up into P4 as they go through, and Klukas again, and Chase down the inside trying to look through turn 1 of Jim Lovell, but can't get it done this time. And there's one of the bikes recovering and getting out of the way. Again, can't quite see who that is, but there we go. Chase again looking to the inside, trying to get through, can't quite do it this time. So it is still Ben Lord from Ryan Tyers, Jim Lovell, then Chase Collymore in 4th, Ben Klukas in 5th, Mick Lord in 6th place as well. Not too far down.
Anthony, he's already got him.
Yeah, he has. So he's got him out of Luna Corner onto the straight before they get to the hill. So Chase is absolutely flying out there at the moment. And let's see what he can do next. So he's got about a 2-second gap from Ryan Tyers in 2nd place. So let's just see what he can do. It doesn't look like a 2-second gap there, does it? It looks much smaller than that. Let's see what it is when he crosses the line. I think it's just about less, actually. So, yeah. But absolutely flying through at the moment. 5 laps to go. And let's just see what young Chase can do. Now, as we keep an eye on them through this section here, avoiding those puddles. There's a couple of puddles on the apexes as well. They have to avoid those. But you can get your knee down through them. That doesn't matter. You splash the rider behind you. Distraction. But 5 laps to go, and Chase is already closing down on Ryan Tyers. He's massively closed that gap up. But here is the battle further down. This is 4th and 5th. Lovell and Klukas as they come down the hill. But there is Chase Collymore now all over the back of Ryan Tyers. And he has seriously closed that gap up now. When Ryan Tyers looks over his shoulder just to see how far away he is right there. So let's see as they go through the first corner and second corner. This is kind of their new chicane, really, isn't it? So it goes right to left. as they come back on the infield section into Luna. As they go through now, this is where we saw Collymore overtake Lovell. Can he do it this time on tyres?
I think he might be able to, Anthony. We've cut back to the start-finish line from now. But yes, look at Chase. He's up into second place. There's 4 laps left of this one. 3 at the end of this one.
I suspect he could have him. You know.
This may well be Chase Collymore's first win in the pit bike stock 140s. He's absolutely flying out there. We did say at the start of the race he's going to have that advantage going at the back straight. Let's see what the time difference is now between him and Ben Lord as they cross the line. There's 2 seconds in it.
There's 2.223 seconds to try and gain. So, like we've been seeing, it might be a bit close, but anything's possible. You know, you can see how much faster he is, and you can see there already that they've concertinaed up. That is the guys a little further back, so that's still Clucas and Lovell, and again lots of support coming in for Chase.
Yeah, some names familiar to B&B, Ava Carter and Luke Westerman, both back in Chase to catch up to Ben. Ben's still the fastest lap holder of this one, Anthony, with a 48.9. Chase has done a similar lap with a 48.9, so there's not much between the two of them.
Yep, so let's just see what we can do down the hill. He doesn't look like he's taken a lot out of him now. Ryan Tyers sticking to the back of Collymore, but let's just see what happens when they cross the line. The timing beam's a little further around the corner. They cross it this time, only taking a 10th out of him. So unless anything happens, I think Chase, I don't think he's going to be able to catch Ben Lord at that pace.
No, we're not with 2 laps to go. I think it might require a slight mistake now from Ben Lord, which is now the question, but a great race nonetheless. Ryan Tyers has dropped off a little bit. He's a further second behind Chase. Ben Clucas and Jim Lovell still battling out for 4th and 5th now. Yeah,
so like I say, 2 laps to go, and we keep an eye on the field as they cross the start-finish line. Last lap board going out now to your race leader, Ben Lord, and of course Chase will see that. The gap this time, 1.8 seconds, so he's taken a couple more tenths out of him, but if he can try and get 1.8 seconds out of him on this lap, I will be amazed. So let's see what he can do. But of course, anything could happen. So let's see what happens as they exit Luna onto the back straight. And as we see there's Chase trying to get everything he can out of that bike up the hill. And I don't think he's going to be close enough into the braking zone for turn 1. If he is, that's going to be a very big lunge, I would say. But down the hill,
here's the battle for 3rd.
Yep, the battle just behind Ryan Tyers, Ben Clucas and Jim Lovell. They're very, very close side by side for 2 of them as they cross the line. Who's going to take 3rd? Ryan Tyers takes 3rd, Jim Lovell takes 4th, and Ben Clucas crosses the line in 5th place. But Chase Collymore, 0.8 of a second down from Ben Lord there, so he did take a second out of him that lap.
Yeah, he needed that a few laps ago, I'm afraid, but great ride nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic ride. Rest of the riders come through. Chris Grieve in 6th place, Mick Lord in 7th, Phil Dickens in 8th, John Buckle in 9th place, Devon Aline there in 10th, Chris Heimers in 11th, Simon Patterson in 12th, Matthew Davis in 13th, Sebastian Barron in 14th, and Max Bartle 15th. Simon Shane Dean 16th, Sean Betton there in 17th, Scott Ray in 18th, and Ian Rogerson in 19th place. I believe Ben Nixon and Lewis Calder there are both retirements from that race.
Next up, we've got the Super Minis.
So the Mazzano Motor Imports will be heading out next, and they'll, as you can see, the rest of the riders just coming in there. The rain still coming down quite a bit, so next group will be coming out in just a moment. We'll hopefully get a grid up for you as well. So and here it is. So grid for race 1 of the Super Minis. Dane Blackburn in 1st position, Joe Dickinson in 2nd, Reece Stevenson in 3rd with Matt Bolsover in 4th. Luke Bithell in 5th place with Tom Lewis in 6th. James Edwards in 7th place with Joshua Bednarak there in 8th. Sorry. Lawrence Waddle in 9th place, Aaron Howe in 10th, Rob Booth in 11th, Callum Brown in 12th place, Callum Ricketts in 13th with Sam Crooks in 14th, Mike Edwards in 15th, Jack Bednarak in 16th place on the number 19. Mark Evans in 17th, Dean Bednarak in 18th, Simon Chambers in 19th, Nathan Smith in 20th, with Mike Smallbones in 21st place, rounding out your grid with a 111.1. Again, these guys are going to go out for their few warm-up laps just to get used to the new circuit layout, because the last time they were out on circuit, it was, of course, the original layout. So these guys have not actually ridden this layout yet. As you can see there, the rain on the camera. And as we go back to the start-finish line, as the rest of the riders come through, and that rain is really starting to come down. Now, you can see the sun through the clouds there. The sun is just in shot. But the problem is it is behind, yes, a large amount of cloud.
Yeah, I think this is the last group to have a practice session, Anthony.
Ah, okay.
I seem to remember on the phone call to Alan at the start of the stream, or just before the stream started, he said the first 4 classes will get, I'm not sure if he meant the first 4 races or the first 4 classes, because obviously the last 2 races have been in the same class. But it's either this or the next one. This is the last one with the practice session. You've pointed something out to me on Facebook.
Yes, so we were thinking that Chase Collingwood was 14 years old because he was in the adult class. But we've just had a message come through saying he's actually 12 years old.
Fantastic. Well, the rules and regulations say 14 plus, but for a rider as experienced as Chase, you know, it's no harm for him. Evidently, no harm for him to be racing in and amongst the adults. Congratulations to Chase on finishing second in that last race. Looking forward to see how he gets on this afternoon.
Let's see, hopefully with nicer conditions, but we'll see how that goes. Now, that puddle, is it me or is it getting larger? Is that track getting a bit narrower on the inside?
Support coming in for our pole sitter Dane Blackburn from his mum and dad. Glad to have you guys watching at home. They look to be ready to line up.
Yeah, I think now the flags are waving is a indication that they are going to be stopping on the grid. And again, more support coming in these tricky conditions. They're going to be lining up on the grid now, and we're going to get the minis away very, very soon. Again, lots of support coming in. Good luck to Tom Lewis. It's coming out there here at Three Sisters. And you can see the grid there all getting into position. Looks like 3rd place isn't in position yet. Who's supposed to be in 3rd? Reece Stevenson? There he is. He's now in position.
Yep, so in the whites, that's pole sitter Dane Blackburn. In black, Joe Dickinson. Reece Stevenson, as we said, has just pulled up. In the nice blue and lime green in 4th place, that's Matt Bolsover. Luke Bithell is in the red and white in 5th. The 6th man on your screen in black, green and yellow is Tom Lewis.
There we go. So let's see what we can do this time around. There's Alan just in the background keeping an eye on everyone. He's braving the rain. And let's see what we can do for the start of this. Green flag is up.
Slight jump start from 3rd.
Yeah, that is not going to be good, and that is going to be, I think, a jump start for our 3rd place man, Reece Stevenson. It was a very obvious one there as they go through into turns 1 and 2, all getting away. And let's see what they can do as they enter into Luna. As that big dollop of water on the camera there playing havoc, but it looks like Dane Blackburn still in front of Joe Dickinson, and Reece Stevenson still in 30. Top 3 doesn't look like it's changed, but here comes Dickinson on Blackburn and easily gets past on the back straight. And that is Matt Bolsover there in 3rd place now, hasn't it?
It is indeed. Matt Bolsover had a great year in B&B last year, but hasn't been to every round this year. Still looks like a competitive rider as they cross the line for the first time. It's Dickinson, Blackburn, Bolsover.
There we go, and support coming in for Bolsover as well as he moves up into 3rd place. Fastest man on the circuit as well, Joe Dickinson, your race leader, 47.833. He's the fastest rider on circuit at the moment. as they come round Luna again. And again, the 4th place rider there as well, trying to just keep every one of those. The 3:07. So I think that's Tom Lewis actually in 4th place, who's gaining on these guys as well. Reece Stevenson's gone down into 5th.
Challenger at the
Oh,
front.
one of rider's gone down in the background. 3rd place, I believe that was Bolsover. Bolsover hits the tyres and causes carnage there. And yeah, his bike's up into the trees. I just saw it out the corner of my eye there as he was trying to really pull the power down. His visor's come off as well, but he looks to be okay. But that bike is all the way up into the trees there. And yeah, so massive shame for that one. As apologies there as the grid just appeared up as one of the marshals there coming over to just help him out. Back with the leaders though, and they're going to be coming into yellow flag conditions as well. This is a little further back. Race leaders there just in front, only 2 of them now. Of course, Bolsover was one of those, but unfortunately has crashed out as they were going up the hill. But yellow flags out in that section, so riders, of course, won't be allowed to overtake. But down into the final corner, and yellow flags everywhere, actually, I think, at the moment. I think, have they...
That's Matt Bolsover's bike, the reason for the yellow flags. We are still racing, though.
No, they are still racing now. I saw a yellow flag in turn 1, but I didn't see anyone down, so I think they cleared quickly. I thought we had like a full course yellow situation there, but no, we don't. We are back racing again, and it is still Dickinson leading from Blackburn, Lewis, Stevenson, Bithell, Edwards, Bednarak, and Howe. Wardle and Crooks are your top 10 as well. So 6 laps to go. And who have we got here? This is the 30. This is Tom Lewis and Reece Stevenson. So this is the battle for 3rd place. And Stevenson looking down the inside as well as they will come downhill into the final corner. This is your race leaders. This is Joe Dickinson and Blackburn. They're crossing the line now. They're going to be starting lap 5 laps to go. And Reece Stevenson again piling on the pressure to Lewis. Bithell just behind as well.
Yeah, that battle for 3rd is very close. Dickinson seems to have the measure of Blackburn for the moment up top.
Yeah, let's just see what they can do. Again, personal best coming in all the way through the field. Fastest man on the last lap was actually Joe Dickinson, 46.467. So even in these conditions, he's putting out some quick times as they all hunker down now, trying to get through the section here. And it's still Tom Lewis in 3rd. He's still under some serious pressure from the guys behind, and there's big motions there, and that looks like Bithell has got in front of Stevenson.
Yeah, chopping and changing 3rd, 4th and 5th. There's a confirmation there to the left-hand side of your screen. Bithell is now 4th place. Stevenson still in the battle, though.
Yeah, so there we go. So Stevenson, after that interesting start where he made a slight jump there, he's still holding on into P5 at the moment. And let's just see what they can do as they enter onto the back straight, as the rest of the grid goes over the start-finish line. And here they come. So on the back straight, it is still Lewis from Bithell from Stevenson. And let's just see what they can do up the hill. There is the recovered...
Matt Bolsover.
Yeah, Matt Bolsover
to
there.
the inside goes Bithell. I think he's got 3rd place.
As we look down into the final corner, let's see who comes through onto the starting grid. It's side by side, a little jostling there for position. Gets in front, switches back to the inside. Who's going to cross the line first? Bithell crosses from Lewis. So Bithell had taken 3rd place from Lewis with 3 laps to go. And let's just see what they can do now onto the infield straight. So into Luna as the rest of the field come through, avoiding that big infield puddle. And they're going round Luna now at the moment, and we'll see them appear just out of shot onto the back straight. There they are. So we'll follow them now as they start to head past the commentary box, up the hill. Stevenson looking to the inside, but it looks like Bithell's got it covered from Lewis. But it looked like Lewis was in front of Bithell. I can't tell. I can't see from the bike number. But he may have got past him on that lap. Let's see what he can do as they enter into the, or across the start-finish line to who's in front. No, it's still Bithell. Stevenson gets in front of Lewis as well. So Stevenson back up into 4th place. But all this time, and that looks like a mechanical issue for one of the bikes there. And I think that
Bithell, isn't it?
Is that Bithell? Yes. I think Bithell with an issue from P3. So that is a disaster for Bithell. Yeah, massive disaster for him.
Yeah, disappointing to see anyone drop out of a race, especially when they're in a battle such as this one. To the top of the hill comes Tom Lewis, who's now up into 3rd place. Following that, he's gone up 2 places this lap, and the next one, Anthony, will be here last.
It will indeed. So let's just see what he can do this time as they come over the start-finish line. Last lap board is out for Joe Dickinson. He has got a 3-second lead from Blackburn, who is in P2. And this is the battle further down. There's yellow flags in that section. That will, of course, will be for Luke Bithell, who will be recovering. But we have got Tom Lewis in 3rd. And Reece Stevenson in 4th, so they'll be the guys we'll want to keep an eye on. They're the closest battle out there for the position that we want. And there's another rider down. I can see an 818, I think I can see there.
Bednarak.
Yeah, it is. Oh, and another rider goes down right next to him as well. And again, these conditions super, super tricky. The checker flag goes out for Joe Dickinson and Dane Blackburn as well. Reece Stevenson takes 3rd place from Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis down into 4th. With Aaron Howe in 5th. Luke Bithell crosses in 6th place, so he didn't lose out that much, I would say. So Sam Crooks crosses the line in 7th, Rob Booth in 8th, Mike Edwards in 9th, Jack Bednarak in 10th place, Lawrence Wardle in 11th, with Mark Evans in 12th place. Callum Ricketts crossing the line in 13th place. Rest of the field come through now. The next 3, it's Simon Chambers, Mike Smallbones, Nathan Smith. Callum Brown hasn't crossed the line, so I believe one of those was Callum Brown down in that corner. And it looks like he's got back up as well. So it looks like everyone is okay through that section. But Callum Brown and Dean Bednarak, 2 riders that I don't believe will make it to the finish line. But that is, of course, the end of the Mazzano inputs. What are we heading to next?
Next up, Anthony, it's the Pit Bike Veterans.
Excellent stuff. So the veterans will be coming out next. The SY Moto veterans, these guys here, massive thanks to them yesterday for letting me borrow one of the bikes. And these guys, if you can keep an eye on it, is there a 37 out there for the veterans?
Nope, you've broken it.
No, I've broken it, have I?
I think it was a bike eligible for this class, but
it
the
isn't
man
racing.
riding it isn't considered a veteran.
I see. But yes, big thanks to that. Medical car going for a lap of the circuit, just to keep an eye on it.
As one of the riders from our last race trudges back to the pit lane. That's literally the definition of trudging, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a replay actually from the last race there. This was from the last lap incident, as we could see one of the bikes recovering. So this was Bednarak, who was just recovering the bike there on the 818, and then out of nowhere, as he looks up now, he's just going to see another bike come straight in and into the tyres.
Producer James looking shocked to the top left there.
In his shorts. Yeah, so you can see there with these tricky conditions there, absolutely sliding on the grass. And the grass itself is quite boggy as well, so there's not a lot of time. So the bike stops, but the rider just dances across the grass there. Can't quite stop him from going into that tyre wall. But veterans next. Hopefully we'll get a grid up for you in just a moment, and here it is. Take us through it, Jacob.
Will do. Mark Davis starts this one on pole position. He's got James Mozzie Mostica alongside him for company. Mostica has been a real player in this class all season. Expect to see him challenging for the lead. Chris Blowfield starts in 3rd place with Sean Bandel alongside him on row 2. Julian Gromit is in 5th place, another name we're familiar with in the veterans class. Martin Cockayne starts alongside him in 6th. Sean Betton will be 7th place in this one, a new rider to the class, and another new rider joins him on the 4th row. That's Ben Douglas. John Bolsover will be in 9th and Paul Histon in 10th, Paul Histon was also a new rider. Joe O'Neill will be in 11th with Andy Williams in 12th place. Mark Jarrett, Stephen Tempest are 13th and 14th. 15th will be Darren Hall. 16th, Howard Taylor. And then we have Ian James in 17th place. John Pearson and Richard Rice round out your order. The others set no times. That's Brian Betton, Paul Bingley, Leslie Noble and Paul Brimble. Anthony, Richard Rice says 17 seconds slower than everyone else. Only set 1 lap time this morning. Hopefully we'll see him out there in this one. He's a name that we often shout out on the commentary because he's in and amongst the action.
He is indeed, and I have to say it was quick yesterday because he overtook me several times in the session that I was out in. So,
did anyone not overtake you several times?
What are you trying to say? You trying to say I'm slow?
Absolutely not. I just heard the rumours.
No, they're not rumours. They are incredibly true. I am very slow on one of these bikes around any circuit, especially when it's pouring down with rain. Yeah. I very much wasn't used to it, but it was great fun, and again a massive thanks to the guys at SY Motos who did allow me to go out on one of those bikes. And the first words that came out of their mouths were, "If you break it, you bought it." So I really didn't want to break it. So yeah, I kept it in one piece, albeit it was a very very slow lap. But the tyre wall's just being repaired there after the incident there in the last lap. And we'll get going for the veterans very soon. You can see them just being held in the pit lane, or on the dummy grid. So they'll be heading out in just a moment. So,
you can see from this shot that the rain's still coming down. I think I said at the start of the stream, Anthony, that the rain would be stopping and starting throughout the afternoon, but it hasn't, has it? It's just consistently come down.
It's just not stopped, has it? It's just carried on. It's yeah, it really doesn't like us today, the rain. I have to say, it may have not stopped, but it's much lighter than what it was yesterday. Yesterday it was torrential rain. It absolutely hammered it down yesterday, and it was it was not the nicest place to be here at Three Sisters yesterday. It was terrible weather, but like I say, still very wet, but a lot less of it falling.
Thumbs up in the pit lane, and out come our riders for the veterans race. As you said, I'm not sure if these guys are getting practice, Anthony, so keep an eye. We may have to start this one sooner than we've become accustomed to today. This is race number 5 of 8 for the day. Once we get through the first round, we'll be going through all of them again. So anyone you've seen racing today that you're particularly taking a fancy to, will be back out on track shortly. Good luck to Joe Allen O'Neill, otherwise known as Beetlejuice, apparently. And Rich Valentino Ricci. Let's try and remember some of these nicknames. Who was it that was Ginger Gandalf? It was Dan Pearson, wasn't it? It
was Dan Pearson, yeah. I really quite liked that one. So
yeah. I might write that one down just to make sure we get that one in the stream later on this afternoon.
We'll make that a hashtag. Hashtag Ginger Gandalf.
And a superb ride it was from Dan Pearson.
It was, yeah, it was a good ride.
This afternoon, yep. Looks like we are going straight into the grid on his right. No warm-up laps. Rest of the afternoon. To the right-hand side, that should be your pole sitter, Mark Davis. And James Mozzie Mostocker will appear next to him in a few moments' time.
Good stuff, and of course riders avoiding that large puddle. You can see a yellow flag in the background there. I think they're being told that, yeah, don't grid up in that. There's the 17.9.
That's Chris Blowfield. Oh, it wasn't your pole sitter. I did wonder. I did think that doesn't look much like Mark Davis. There's Mark Davis then in the white. James Moster again, the distinctive red leathers in second place. Chris Blowfield in orange in third.
Yeah, 2 very distinctive different colours there for first, second and third. And we're going to get going for the veterans for race 1 of the day. Green flag is up at the front. And it's going to drop, and we're going to get this one underway. There it goes, and it's a great start from Mosticker as well. And he goes straight round to the outside, and he'll have the inside for in there. Turn 1 and 2. But there we go, there was a bit of a staller there on the grid.
Not a great start from third place for Chris Blowfield. He's down to 7th or 8th already, Anthony. But Mosticker's challenge for the lead has failed. He's still in second place. Mark Davis holds it going into Luna.
Yeah, it's a good start from them. And, of course, as we see them go through onto the back straight, 9 laps to go still for this class. as they go up the hill. And already, look at the size of that gap from Mark Davis to Mostica. He's really opened up that bike, hasn't he?
He has indeed. Is that Sean Bandel in third place? We'll see as we come over the line and the live timing populates to the left-hand side of your screen. Great first lap from Mark Davis there. He has a quick look over his shoulder to see where Mostica is, and red flag.
A red flag has come down.
Unseen by our cameras.
Oh, there is a bike down, but I'm not sure if that's the cause, because that rider seems to be getting up.
Can't quite see where that is, Anthony. Is that in Luna?
I believe it could be in Luna, yes. So I can see a big
Yep,
thumbs
they've stopped
up.
as they go into Luna, and that is where the medical car is. So it's on the left-hand side. It's relatively early in the corner. As any scraping noise you can hear over the microphones, I do apologise. Producer James is outside trying to clear our window so we get a better view of the incident.
But he's not doing a very good job. I think we need to fire him from window cleaner. But red flag, of course, has come out. As we can see, one of the bikes has gone down. He is up on his feet, so that's a good start. So looks like it was a bit of a precaution there for that one, just to make sure all was okay.
We've had an encouragement message. Come on, Chris, Loopy Dragon Blowfield. I got a feeling the fact that we mentioned nicknames, Anthony, people are starting to make them up.
I think they are, yeah. Loopy Dragon. I don't think I'll remember that one, but we'll see.
I'm going to use it.
You're going to use it, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good luck trying to say that one quickly.
Loopy Dragon. Yeah, not a great start for Loopy Dragon in that one. You can see him there in the middle of your picture. That's the 113, is it?
Yes, it is. Ian James. Ian James was the rider there who had gone down, causing the red flag, but he's back on the bike and moving, and Richard Rice has fallen asleep, tying his shoelace. There we go. These bike boots don't have shoelaces, by the way.
All right, so I think we're going back round for a restart. Loopy Dragon will benefit from this in that he goes back up to third place. Richard Rice, I'm guessing, was at the back, given that he only set one time in qualifying, and that wasn't fast enough to put him anywhere higher up the order.
Yeah, no. So, question coming about the last race. No jump start in the previous race. I'm not sure. I think any jump starts come at the end of the day when they get reviewed. So, we'll see.
Glad to have over 150 people with us on this live stream. Well supported. Great to see so many enjoying, say, staying inside and avoiding the weather.
So you stay at home, don't go outside. It's horrible. Have a cup of tea, sit on the sofa, get the stream up. That's what you need to do.
We certainly didn't have this number of viewers when the beach weather was.
No, everyone was here
every weekend. Everyone would come and watch.
Everyone would come and watch, sunbathe, get out in the sun. But if anyone's sunbathing today, I'll be amazed. So, looks like we're going to get going again for a race start. So we're going, well, I'm going to put 2 and 2 together, and I think that's one formation lap.
Yes, they have decided to go and give it a little bit of a practice lap, because I think they've had a full racing lap, and perhaps now we'll see every category get a practice lap at the start. Seems to have worked wonders for the first 4 races. This one being the first one not to have one, ends up having the first lap incident, so perhaps it's wise to let people practice.
So I remember this incident as well. I had a comment come in, and I will get it up on the screen for you, because I found it quite funny. But Chris Evan Edwards is Eagle Edwards after the crash at Rower. Now, I did see that crash at Rower where he flew through a couple of fences and landed miles away from the circuit. I have to say I was quite impressed. And I was hoping he was actually okay from that, which I believe he is. And he's also got a new nickname out of that, so there we go. Yeah, that's a good one there for that one.
I want to know what Chris Blowfield was getting up to at Rower if he's called Loopy Dragon.
Well, we've got Good Luck Joe Alan O'Neill, and it's hashtag Beetlejuice. So I don't know what that one means.
For all your exorcism needs, come and see Joe O'Neill. Back round to the start now. We should, third time lucky, be getting going in this one. The Marshall's got a green flag, not his red one. They had to go swap out just a lap ago. And everyone seems to be forming up on the grid. Just a reminder, to your left, Mark Davis in the white. To your right, James Mostica in the red, Chris Blowfield back in orange in third place. Anthony, we're about to get going.
We are indeed. There goes the green flag. And messages coming in for John Pearson. And it's a good start again. Bit of a wheelie there from Davis there. But Mostica, again, gets a good start, but can't take the lead from Davis that time, could he?
Bit of a better start from Blowfield, but still not up to scratch. He's down in 6th place now. Just not able to get the power down off the line.
Yeah.
Davis leads Mostica into Luna.
Yeah, so it's a good start again. Pretty much carbon copy of what happened at the start before. We are back to 9 laps, and let's see what they can do this time around. So, as they go up the hill again for the second time, but the first time in this restart, as they all seem to slot into position, back down into braking, into the final corner. Mostica's definitely closed that gap, Hansley on Davis. Let's just see what happens as they go into turn 1. Mostica looks down the inside, can't quite do it this time, and has to settle for second place. Sean Bandel still in third, with Julian Gromit in fourth, Martin Cockayne in fifth, and Ben Douglas in 6th, as the rest of the field all slot through as well. Personal best coming through all the way down the field. 6 laps to go on this one. It has now been updated after the red flag that we just saw, and it looks like Mostica is trying to reel in Davis. Let's see what he can do this time. He's completely on a different line onto the start-finish straight. On the back straight, I should say, as we go up the hill. These are the guys a little further behind, I believe.
That's Sean Bandel in third place that we're following.
On the 34, and that is the bike that I was riding yesterday. And he's in third place, so that is why I didn't want to break it.
He must have done something right. Mostica looks to the inside again of turn 1. He's a lot closer this time, but I don't think that's a legit overtaking opportunity down there, Anthony.
The turn 1, no, it's a very fast corner. It's, yeah, I would say it was definitely more of a single file line. You can't really get a switch back on it either. If you could try and hold him around the outside of it, then you've got the inside for the next corner, maybe. But, yeah, it's a brave move.
Mostica still all over the bank of Davis as they exit Luna, who's got the pace advantage up the straight. Mostica goes to the inside of the track to try and take as short a route up the hill as possible, but Davis seems to have the power down. Orojo, number 37. Who's that, Anthony, that we're pointing out there?
I'm not sure.
It may well be 27 and a typo for the red Mostica.
Maybe.
Orojo being red.
Not sure. But there we go, 4 laps to go, and it's still Mostica and Davis. And Mostica looking down the inside of Luna, can't quite do it this time.
Davis looking over his wrong shoulder. Mostica goes to the inside, and Davis looks over his right. It's down, Anthony. Middle of the corner. That's exactly where the issue was on the first lap, and Davis is in the tyre barriers. He's got the bike up, and it looks like he's going to be able to get going again, but Mostica inherits the lead.
That is an instant replay that we've got for this one as well. As you can just see there, the back just loses traction, and he goes through a massive puddle there, and it's gone straight up his leathers, and I'm sure there that's not going to have been ideal for him. But no, massive shame.
He has indeed got going again. Keep an eye on the live timing for us to tell us where he's coming out. But Mostica leads this one now from Bandel, then Gromit.
Yeah, so it's a good start from all. As we look back now, 3 laps to go, and Mostica has got the biggest gap in the world. He's got 4.5 seconds clear from Bandel, so he can really take it steady now on these last 3 laps, I would say, or 2.5 laps, but under pressure still.
There's Mark Davis down in 13th place. He's recovered the bike and still going, but he's got a long way to go now. He's in fact dropped behind Richard Rice, who started this one at the back. So disappointing there for Davis. He's only got 2.5 laps now to recover. There's Mostica's gap, and it looks like there's a battle on for second place. Anthony, Julian Gromit is closing in on Sean Bandel.
He is indeed, and as you see, 2 laps to go. It's anyone's to play for on this one as they go through turn 1, and there's another bike in the gravel. I think that is, I can see an 837, and that I believe is Sean Betton.
It is indeed. Sean Betton struggling to get the bike going again, and looks like he's pulling it off the track now. May try and get it kick-started again to the side, but hopefully you can pick up that battle for second place again, because there was a 10th in it going over the line last time round. Here it is, coming up the hill. Gromit goes to the inside, and takes second place.
Good move from Gromit there. Very committed as he just dives that 75 machine down the inside of the 34, but the 34 comes straight back at him as they go down the hill. Did he lose the position again as they go through the final corner? As that man was clearly wearing a bin bag, I think. But there we go, through the timing beam. No, Gromit has held on to it. So Bandel moving down into third place.
Yeah, great stuff from Julian Gromit, taking that place as he went up the hill. Davis now coming into your picture. He's going to go to the inside of turn 1. And he's made his way up to 7th place. So he's back behind the man who started 3rd place, Chris Blowfield, expecting to pull that position back before the end. This is the last lap, so Mostica way out in front. Looks like he's going to win this one. Gromit trying to hold off Bandel for 2nd.
Yes, indeed. So let's just see what they can do. Yellow flag still out. That will be for the recovering Sean Betton there, who I believe is still in a precarious zone. The last lap board is out. The checkered flag is at the ready, and Mostica takes the checkered flag here at Three Sisters for the first race for the veterans. Julian Gromit crosses in 2nd, and Bandel, who's come back to the UK from America for this championship, takes 3rd place. And I'm sure the weather is much nicer back in America than it is here. And he was saying that the circuits that I race on, it's never been wet. So there we go. He's not used to the wet conditions, but throwing out a 3rd place in these conditions, he's done super, super well. So well done to Bandel out there. And I'm very glad I didn't break his bike.
Yes, congratulations to you both.
Yes.
Next up, we have got the Mini GP 110s and the Junior SM90.
Now, we will be heading out for the next group very shortly. Just a quick one, just to make sure. I'd like to redeem myself on this. Now, we did have a message come through from Simon Pearson to say, good luck to John Pearson. Now, I'll get that up on the screen for you in just a moment. That was the race that we just had. Now, and then a couple of comments later, I got this message come through. And I just want to make sure that I definitely got it right. You got John Pearson's name wrong. It's Rob Pearson. But it's John Pearson on the timing screen, and the person said it was John Pearson, and I read it as John Pearson, and I know John Pearson. So there we go. I think it's John Pearson. But anyway, we're on to the next group now.
The John Pearson comes with 2 laughing emojis, which may give away...
Is it John Pearson? But it's John Pearson on the timing screen.
The fact that he's laughing so hard at the fact... at just someone's name, it suggests that, yes, Alyssa
may be wrong.
Has...
Someone's filled it in wrong on the timing screen. But anyway, we've gone past that bit now. We're on to the next group.
We're all on nicknames now. If you can just send us a comment with his nickname, we'll use that.
Go with it. That's what we'll use from now on. Yeah, we've got lots. So, junior classes heading out now. And we'll hopefully get a grid up for this one as well. Here it is. The grid for the Mini GP 110 and Junior SM90 Race 1. Zach Weston on pole position with Luca Wilkinson in 2nd. Joel Grieg in 3rd. Charlie Pearson in 4th. Daniel Stevenson in 5th place. Ruby Booth in 6th. Joe Mozzie Mostica in 7th place with Ralph Croft in 8th. Ollie Pearson in 9th, George Bartle in 10th, Jack Newton, I should say, in 11th, Brooke Champion in 12th, Hudson Cooper in 13th, with Pierce Reeves in 14th, Finley McCabe in 15th place, and Kyra Nelson, no time set, in 16th place. Billy Carter rounding out the grid of 17, also no time set on the 85 machine.
I'm expecting 2 Mini GP 110s. In this one, Anthony Zach Weston, your man on pole position, and Brooke Champion, who starts this one in 12th. All the other riders are on JSM 90s.
Yes, indeed. So 2 different classes out there. Lots of support, of course, coming in for all the riders. We'll try and get your messages out as much as possible.
There is your pole sitter, Zach Weston, on the blue bike. Next to him in the red and white suit and black helmet is Luca Wilkinson. Joel Grieg there in 3rd place in the red and white suit. Then in the all black and a white bike, you have 4th place Charlie Pearson. Daniel Stevenson is your man in 5th.
Well, there we go. We've got a nickname for Finn on the 179. The Finisher. I like that. That sounds mean.
Fantastic.
I like that.
I wish that was mine.
Green flag and we're away, so a bit distracted there by nicknames. But we're underway and bike stalled as well from the grid. They've not managed to get away.
That's Joel Grieg.
It is, I believe, Joel Grieg as well. He's managed to get away now. But as they go through into Luna, you can see all the bikes going through there.
And we've had a change of order. Luca Wilkinson has got up into the lead.
Well, there we go. So on to the back straight through Luna. And let's see what they can do up the back straight now as they whiz past the commentary box. As marshals get into position. And up the hill they go now. And here we go. Down the hill. Absolutely keeping it pinned through there by the looks of it, aren't they?
Yeah, these younger riders not afraid to smash it over the hill.
There we go, as the rain's really starting to come down. You can really see the drops now on this camera. As we cross the line, we'll get the timing screen up for you, but it's Joel Grieg who is at the front from Luca Wilkinson, Ruby Booth, Joe Mozzie Mosticker, fresh after his dad there came first in the previous race. Let's hope he can do wonders in this. Daniel Stevenson in 5th place, Charlie Pearson in 6th, George Bartle in 7th, Brooke Champion in 8th, Hudson Cooper crossing in 9th, Ralph Croft 10th, Finley McCabe in 11th, and Pierce Reeves in 12th, Ollie Pearson in 13th. I believe that was the rider who had the issue.
So we don't have Zach West in this one, Anthony. Could have sworn we were going to have him as our pole sitter on the Mini GP 110. Joel Grieg, however, 8th in the lead on this one after a storming start. Apologies if I called him as the staller on the grid. We've clearly got our bikes mixed up, and that was actually Ollie Pearson.
Believed to be Ollie Pearson, yes. So not sure if he's come back into the pit lane because he's not crossed the line yet on the 998 machine. But as we go, the rest of them going through. Joel Grieg leading the way from Luca Wilkinson. As you see them there round Luna Corner, and it does seem to be closing that gap. It's exactly 1 second when they last crossed the line. Let's see if he's taken any more out of him as they whiz past the commentary box there and up the hill. And let's just see where the gap is. It looks, I would say, about similar. If there is, it's only a 10th in it if he's gained or lost in it any time. 7 laps to go though, and they'll cross the line for 6 to go.
I think we just caught a glimpse of Ollie Pearson off in the infield. His race seems to be over. We got one rider in the pits as well, and the red flag being prepared for this incident here. We got a rider down in Luna. This race will be halted because of this incident.
Yeah,
and
red flag.
Have it, confirmation of a red flag situation. Medical car will be dispatched, and the race will be halted. We see one of the riders come up to the start-finish line and come to a stop. The rest will be joining him very shortly.
Yep, so red flag out in this race with 6 laps to go. But rider being tended to at the moment. It looks like he's actually on his feet as well. Yeah, I can see that he is on his feet. So that is a good sign. Medical car is with him.
Third rider to go off there in the last half an hour or so, Anthony. Was it the last race? It wasn't the last race, was it? That was the Vets, but the race before that, I think we saw 2 riders go down there.
Yeah, 2 riders went down there as well. So it seems to be...
It was the Vets because Mark Davis
went
down there from the
lead.
lead.
It was, yeah.
And the first lap of the Vets. So yes, last 2 races now, we've seen 3 riders go into that same part of the tyre barrier in Luna. The middle of the corner, proving very tricky in terms of getting the power down up onto that straight.
That part of the track yesterday on the outside, that was the part that did have the oil leak on it. So yeah, that would be probably why. There is the 49 there that you can see it being recovered of Ralph Croft there. But back on his feet walking away there. Seems to be just a bit of a shock to him as the bike went down. Bit disappointed in himself. Always horrible to see, though, isn't it, when you see someone go down, they don't get back up straight away. But, of course, most of the time they don't, purely because they are so devastated with, oh, I've made a mistake, and they don't want to get up. But it's, you know, it would be nice if they did, because then we can all see that they're okay and they bounce back up on their feet. So, but, of course, yeah, you can imagine in that situation when you're racing and, yeah, you make a mistake, you don't want to get back up. You see it in all forms. You see it in MotoGP. You know, when you see riders go down and they don't get up for 10 seconds because they're so devastated, and then you think, oh no, but then they hop up on their feet.
That's just that moment of defeatedness, isn't it, Anthony?
Yeah.
It keeps you pinned to the floor for lack of motivation to get it back up. So, as advertised, there's no Zach Weston in this race. The two at the front are Luca Wilkinson and Joel Grieg. Joel Grieg taking a pretty commanding lead at the start of that one before Luca Wilkinson started to reel him in. Charlie Pearson, Dan Stevenson and Ruby Booth will be your top 5.
Time to break out the Haribo in the comms box, I think.
Anthony, I told you we couldn't do that until the breaking races. Naughty boy.
I got hungry.
Broken all the rules of commentary there.
There we go. But slight break. There we go.
You'll be lucky if you're invited back for touch control.
I've not missed a round yet. How many have you missed?
2.
There we go.
Call it even.
It's
Okay,
definitely
looks like
even.
we're ready to get going again.
It does look like that indeed. Let's see how well we get away this time. Of course, the rain's still coming down. No upset on it just yet.
We're going to have a little warm-up lap, I think.
Yeah. So they'll cross the line and they'll come up on your rule timing things. We'll get some more comments coming in as well. Good luck to Hudson Kai Cooper. He's on the 2:17. And he's, at the moment, on the timing screen, he's crossed the line there in 8th place at the moment. I'm not sure if that's going to be his starting spot. It potentially will be, but let's just see when they next cross the line as the bikes whiz past the comms box again. And we can see that a lot of our cameras are still being wiped. As you can imagine, it's very difficult to keep on top of cleaning these cameras, especially when the cloth that you've got to wipe the screen gets wet very quickly, and then you're trying to wipe it with that, and that doesn't look good.
Is that the 10?
Just, yeah, it's just out of Luna. Nope, got it going again. Just fancied a little stop. There we go.
I think that's Charlie Pearson on the 100 bike, Anthony.
Okay.
Should be starting this one in 3rd position.
Okay. But yeah, not sure what was that for. Was that just like a clear of the visor, or was that maybe an issue with the bike? I'm not sure. And we'll never know. But there we go. They'll be making their way round back onto the grid, so the rest of them do so.
So to your right-hand side, you have Luca Wilkinson on the 76 with little bits of blue trim. To your left, we have Joel Grieg. Keep an eye on those two. At the start of this one, they are likely to be the main contenders for the lead on the first lap. There you get a better view. Joel Grieg's got the slightly orange-coloured suit, and then in 3rd place should be Charlie Pearson. Well, I'm not sure that is Charlie. I think Charlie was the bike that stopped. We'll double check that one for you.
Potentially so. Well, we'll see when they next cross the line. And you can see there, looks like we are going to be going very soon. The extra marshals there being told to clear the grid. As you can see, there's a bike not quite in position there. Just out of position at the side. But looks like we've got a flag up at the back. It looks like it was Brook Champion that was being spoken to there. Green flag at the front. And we're going to get this one restarted. And there we go. Race is underway. And you can see that they cross the line all well. They will get a good start that time as everyone gets into position.
Joel Grieg reassumes the lead. He takes them into Luna for the renewed first time. It's showing 9 laps at the top of your screen, but I think this one might be a reduced distance.
Oh, and there's another bike down
goes
in
Luca
the
Wilkinson.
same spot. It is the same spot on that circuit, and it is Luca Wilkinson who's gone down. And again, I think it's the drama of the incident that's happened. You know, he's absolutely devastated out there, but I'm sure he'll be seen to very quickly. And it looked like it was just a low side, but I can see a red flag again. Red flag has come back out, and I think is there going to be a decision made on the conditions, because that corner is really not helping. And there we go. It was the 217 that stopped last time.
Yep,
Hudson Cooper
stopped in the same place. Hudson, not quite sure what's going on by the looks of things. He just likes the scenery in that part of the track.
He does like that spot. Yeah, so
he's having a conversation with someone, I think, about the bike stopping and starting. A little bit of help trying to get it going. And away he goes again.
there we go. But there we go. So riders again stopping on the grid.
5 laps was the reduced distance on this one. It may be reduced again after this small incident. Looking at the window, it looks to be
Apparently the last lap.
fairly similar. Yeah, I don't think we'll have 1 lap restart. That'd be something of nothing, wouldn't it?
That'd honestly be wicked, I think.
Just 1 lap, go for it.
Go nuts. Anything could happen.
If anything's going to exacerbate the issue that we've had of people going off right at the start, it would be that. So I hope to God that's not the plan. There you see Luca Wilkinson on his feet and trying to get going again. The bike doesn't look too badly damaged. And in fact, yeah, they're trying to get it going again. He might make the restart this one, Anthony.
There we go. If he feels up for it, and I'm sure he is, he's looking like he's going to get back on and go for it. But you can just see there how tricky it is. Just clear the mud away from that tyre. But looks like we're going to try again. If it will be a last lap shootout, I'd love that.
No.
But I'm sure it won't be.
No, I'm refusing to believe that's the plan.
That's the case. I believe it was probably going to be about four laps or so. I think maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see when they cross the line. We'll see what race control say, and we'll see what comes up on our screen. So you can see there the riders again back into their grid slots, and we will get this race underway again in just a moment. So the Mini GP 110s and Junior SM 90s. 2 red flags in this one. When was the last time we had 2 red flags in one race?
I couldn't tell you, Anthony. We've been quite lucky with it recently. So all the bad luck appears to be coming out here at Three Sisters. Luca Wilkinson very frustrated that he can't carry on.
I don't think it is going to be going, yeah. No, it looked hopeful that he was going to get that to the grid, but...
fingers crossed he's going to be back out for race number 2.
I'm sure he will be, yeah. They'll be working on that bike, so I'm sure they'll get that back up. But I think we're good to go again, as we've got the bike off the circuit. Flags up at the back, flags up at the front. Alan very strictly telling them to stay away. And green flag goes down, and there's a staller at the back. 3 stallers, I believe. Is that 3? Yeah, 3 bikes stalled on the grid there. That's a massive, massive shame.
2 of them are underway. There's just 1 more trying to be restarted. Grieg takes the lead as expected. The rider in about 5th place from that had a great start, and I believe that's who you're seeing in 2nd place there. You saw him get away from the grid very sharply. Is that the 90?
I believe so, yeah. I believe you could be right.
I'm not sure we've got a 90, but we'll see
I
who that is as they come around. 5 laps shown at the top of the screen, but be mindful that may change. It's the 86, actually, of Ruby Booth. Great start from Ruby.
Yep, up to P2.
Lots of support coming in on Facebook, and she's up into P2 in this one.
Yeah, and the 217 again in his favourite spot.
Yeah, that's the third time Hudson Cooper's stopped by there.
I
shouldn't joke.
You know,
same spot.
Yeah, I shouldn't joke. You know, he's clearly got an issue with the bike, and he's clearly devastated about that. So it's a massive shame for him. You know, it's the worst feeling that when you've got an issue with your bike and you just can't. You know, you just keep stopping, and you know he's got going again now, so that's good. But, you know, massive shame for him as well. But it is amazing that it has been the same spot. I don't know what it is about
Almost
that part
identical.
of the circuit.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it could be a fuel issue, you know, because he's leaning the bike so far to the right. And when he gets back up to go into the back straight, it's bogged down. So it could be a fuel or a carburetor issue or something along that line.
We're following Daniel Stevenson, who's up into third place. There's your race leader, Joel Grieg. And Stevenson there goes to the inside of, that is Hudson Cooper coming now as a back marker. Ruby Booth is still riding in second place in this one. She's 2.7 seconds down on Grieg. Stevenson a further second and a half behind her, with Mostica and Pearson in for company.
Yeah, so there's the 27 Mostica trying to get through as well, just in behind Daniel Stevenson. Ruby Booth about 2 seconds clear from these guys, but 2 seconds down from Joel Grieg at the front. Joel Grieg commanding this race at the moment, and here comes
Charlie Pearson to the inside.
Charlie Pearson down the inside, up the hill, makes the move done. It's a good move. Next on the list is Daniel Stevenson. Can he do it with 3 laps to go?
Looks to have a bit of a pace advantage, and certainly different lines as they come back down the hill into the last corner now. Yeah, keep an eye on him on the back straight. He certainly looks to have a power advantage.
Does indeed. So as we go round turn 1 again, the rain really coming down again now. As there you can see Ruby Booth on the 86, just in front of this group of 3 of Stevenson, Pearson and Mostica.
She put in a personal best last lap to maintain that gap back to these 3. They are 3 good riders. We've seen lots of them this year in British mini bikes, and they'll be sure to want to get onto the back of that second place bike if they get the opportunity. Watch now as Pearson has that advantage up the straight.
Yeah, Mostica, a bit of a wobble out of Luna, and that's a very wet camera. I think we need to wipe that one again. There is Brooke Champion on the 46, one of the mini GP classes. And here again,
Pearson's done it. Pearson has got up the inside of Dan Stevenson to third place.
Yeah, it is a good move. Next on the list is Ruby Booth, who got caught up slightly there, I believe, from... I'm not sure who that was, actually.
That's,
I think it was Finley McCabe. Finley McCabe that got caught up there with Ruby Booth. So, but they managed to get past. And, Ruby Booth has lost second place to Charlie Pearson. So Ruby Booth now into P3. And you could just see that across the line where just struggled to get past one of the back markers there of Finley McCabe. That has demoted her down 1 place. Still on the podium, though, but under pressure now from Daniel Stevenson. So let's just see what we can do. It is last lap. So Joel Grieg is going to be crossing the line imminently. There he is, out in towards the final corner. And here comes second, third, and fourth. So the checker flag will go out to Joel Grieg, who crosses the line now and sets a new fastest time of the race on the last lap as well. And then here comes Pearson, Booth, and Stevenson to round out your top 4. Mostica crosses the line in P5. And then hopefully it will be Bartle and Brooke Champion.
Great stuff from our young riders. Hopefully we'll get to see a full version of that race later on, because it looked to be brewing into a good one, Anthony.
It was indeed, wasn't it? And hopefully if they had a few more laps on that one, it would, it would have definitely spiced things up a little bit. So moving on, though, what have we got up next?
We've got our Pit Bike Stock 160s Race 1B.
So the Extra Flow Stock 160s B race will be out very, very shortly as the last of the riders from the previous race rejoins the pit lane. And we'll get a grid up for you in just a moment. Oh, there's no grid apparently for this one. Okay, so we've talk us through. You can see that a little bit better than me. Oh, you've got a mouthful of sweets. You can't. Okay, I'll have to lean.
Yes, I do, Anthony. Yes, I do.
I'll have to lean over you. Okay, so on pole position, Joseph O'Neill, Simon James Dean in second, Scott Ray in third place, Andrew Jones in fourth with Nathan Smith in fifth. Nathan Summers in sixth place. Seventh place is Chris Edwards. Eighth is Mike Smallbones. Craig Spencer in ninth. Tom White rounding out your top 10. Cara Williamson in 11th. And then it's Tommy Champion in 12th place. Howard Taylor is the last of this group. 13th place for him.
Thanks for that, Anthony.
You're welcome. How's your sweet?
Appreciated.
How's your sweet?
They were lovely. I had some cola bottles. You treat yourself now. I'll continue talking for the next couple of minutes. Yes, that was your grid for the B class. There are two groups in this pit bike stock 160s to keep the grid sizes to a manageable level. As you can see, they're having a few practice laps. I think the original intention was for the riders who hadn't ridden this new track layout to have some practice laps, and then once we got back around to the riders who'd qualified on that, to just go straight into the race. And as usual, I think safety-wise, it's been a better decision just to have those practice laps for everyone. And yes, they are now forming up onto the grid, having had a little bit of a go.
Yes. Yes. So they're going to come out now shortly. And, yeah.
Here we are, lining up on the grid. We're missing the first few rows on the right-hand side of the grid, the left-hand side of your screens. Here they are now, two riders putting up. So Joe O'Neill on the right-hand side, Simon James Dean on your left.
And let's hope this is a good one now. The 160s always do give us a good little scrap, don't they? And let's see what they can do this time in these very tricky conditions. As you can still see from this camera, that rain coming down. So flag is up at the back. Green's up at the front. And we're going to get going this time around. And it's a good start from fifth place, I would say that was. I don't know who that was. Simon's changed it. Andrew Jones, was it? Andrew Jones absolutely flew through that one there. I think got two positions. And there's a bike just leaving the pit lane with a little bit of a bump start.
And that's Scott Ray has made his way into the lead of this one, Anthony, as they all come round Luna for the first time, avoiding that slippery part of the track where so many people have fallen foul. And, yep, Scott Ray leads this one up the hill.
Yeah, it's a good start. So let's just see as they go past the comms box up the hill. And Scott Ray under pressure now. And I can't see the number from that one. It's a very light green against a white background. It's quite difficult to see on the camera. But there we go as we come down the hill. 9 laps to go. They'll cross the line with 8 laps to go. And here we go, across the line. We'll see the timing screen appear on our timing screen as well of what the positions are. So it's Scott Ray, Andrew Jones in second, Simon James Dean in third, Nathan Summers in fourth, Nathan Smith in fifth, Mike Smallbones sixth, Craig Spencer in seventh place, and Tom White in eighth. Joseph O'Neill and Howard Taylor ran out your top 10, Tommy Champion in 11th.
Yeah, we did call Joe O'Neill as the pole sitter for this one, Anthony, but as you can see, he started at the back for whatever reason.
Yep.
Which has given these two at the front, who are now challenging for the lead, an advantage. To the inside goes Andrew Jones and takes the lead going up the hill.
Yeah, it's a good overtake from Andrew Jones, and here he comes now down the hill. And let's just see what happens this time around in terms of pressure from behind. Simon James Dean now piling on the pressure on Scott Ray. And let's just see what he can do through turn one. As you can see, the rain playing havoc with some of the cameras there. This camera seems to be covered quite well, doesn't it? So no water splatters on this one. So good camera as we go through. And it's the you can see 104 now on that one. That was a good shot. You can see that as they head round the Luna corner. As they go up the back straight now, feeding in the power. This was a little further around the corner. This is where we saw some of the other riders earlier on having a bit of issue. And there we go, up the hill. You can just see there all the water that comes across the circuit everywhere, isn't it?
Ray to the inside at the top of the hill, very close to touching, but he's got the lead back.
That was a good move. It kind of kept the power on really there, didn't he? So it looked like Andrew Jones had come off the power there and really just kind of shoved it in and said, "Thank you very much, I'll have that." So there we go. Scott Ray moves back up into first place. Andrew Jones will keep him on his heel. Now Simon James Dean is going to be up for these ones. And now I remember these guys were battling hard at the first round, actually. First round, Clay Pigeon. I remember these guys having a good little scrap. So remember those names, Andrew Jones and Simon James Dean. Those two always had a good little scrap, and they're repeating that scrap here as well.
Well, Simon James Dean has dropped back a little bit on this lap, Anthony, as to the front comes the challenge from Andrew Jones.
There we go. He's not managed to, he's held onto it now, has Scott Ray. Andrew Jones can't really respond at any point here around the final corner. Let's see what we can do this time around. It'll be the fourth lap that they've completed. 5 laps to go. And Andrew Jones has set a new fastest time of the race, 1:51.674 that he's done at the moment. So quickest out there, and he's looking to the inside into this tricky corner now. Steady around here, because this is where everyone's been going down. They both get through, and there we go, back onto the back straight now, and he's going to try and feed the power on now, squeeze the throttle and try and get it back on, and then up the back straight now, and it looks like he's got good momentum. He's got the inside now as they go up the hill of Oblivion, and he's managed to take it and hold it, and yes, there it is, back for the lead for Andrew Jones.
Great battle in between these two. Just to mention further back, Nathan Summers has worked his way up into 4th place. He's under heavy pressure from the charging Joe O'Neill. Joe O'Neill starting at the back of this one despite setting the fastest lap in qualifying.
Yeah, so it's a good old race all the way throughout, and still struggling with the windy conditions out there as well. Wind and rain. Joe O'Neill has set a new fastest lap of the race, 50.7. So
he's on the back of this battle, Anthony.
He is. He's 2 seconds a lap quicker than anyone else. So unless he missed a corner, but he's absolutely flying out there.
Ray being challenged, I should say, for second place. I'm struggling to get my words out here. I'm so excited because I want to talk about Joe O'Neill coming up to the back of them. It's Andrew Jones who's got a bit of a lead now.
Yeah,
Ray in second place. 3rd is Simon James Dean, and there's Joe O'Neill right on the back.
Yep, and here he comes, looking to the inside now as they go down the hill into the braking zone of the final corner. He can't quite go down the inside here. Very tricky corner, and there's a lot of water on the inside there, so I'll probably avoid it as well. Gets on the power, gets the bike upright, looks to the inside of turn 1, gets it done into turn 1. There we go. So that's Joe O'Neill back into 3rd place, or up into 3rd place, I should say. Did he hold on to it, though? Yes, he did. There we go. So he's up into 4th place now, isn't he? Yes. 3rd.
3rd, yes. Andrew Jones leads. Scott Ray is in 2nd place, but there's Joe O'Neill in 3rd, and he's going to be challenged up the hill. Now, 4th place is Simon James Dean still. He's going to keep with them, and here it is, the battle between the 11 and the 90. This is for 2nd place now as we head to the summit of Oblivion.
Again, that last lap, Joseph O'Neill was a second faster than anyone else around him. So I don't know what's happened there, but he's pulled the pin on that thing, and now he's off for it. We've got a back marker there, just moving slightly out of the way. This potentially could be Tommy Champion.
Yep. O'Neill looks to the inside, but can't make it happen into turn 1 again. He's not got the pace advantage over Scott Ray that he had over Simon James Dean just a lap ago. He comes into Luna now, looking for that 2nd place. Again, Scott Ray shuts the door.
Yeah, can't quite do it that time, and again, a bit hesitant through that section. But here we go, onto the back straight. Little gap now has Andrew Jones. But let's just see what Joseph O'Neill can do. Simon James Dean again's fallen back, and here comes O'Neill down the inside of Ray for 2nd place, and that is a good move. So something's happened to him there. He's got used to these conditions, and there we go. He's absolutely flying away now down into the final corner. And here we go. 2 laps to go. They'll cross the line for the last lap. And there is the last lap board is out. So this is the lap that O'Neill has got to try and get Jones. And can he do it? Where do you think do you think it's possible?
It's going to have to be at the top of the hill. I think he's close enough.
He is close enough. Look,
it's going to be neck and neck between the two of them. Not sure if Andrew Jones knows that he's coming. They come around Luna now for the last time. Jones needs a good drive off of this corner.
And I have to say, I think he's got it as well. So here we go, in the slipstream, tucks in, and now he's going to look to the inside here, up into Oblivion. Clearly had the advantage there, straight up into the lead for O'Neill from 4th place. He's managed to gain all these positions into the final couple of corners. We'll come into the last corner now, heavy on the brakes. Round the apex now to receive the checker flag for Joseph O'Neill, who will take the win for the B race for the Stock 160s. And what a race from O'Neill, managing to get all those positions within a few laps. And as you can see, the rest of the field crossing the line there as well. So it was O'Neill, Jones, Ray, Dean, Summers, Smith, Smallbones, Spencer, White. And then crossing the line now will be Champion, who is crossing the line in 12th place. And then it is Heimers, and then this will be Taylor, the last rider to cross the line. So that is the B race for the Stock 160s. Up next, of course, will be the A race.
We are back with race A for the Stock 160s. It's a hell of a lineup in this one for you. Let me talk you through the grid. Unfortunately, we can't get the graphic up for you on this one. Pole position will be Mark Davis, who we saw in the wall at Luna, which he probably won't thank me for mentioning at this point. But yes, Mark Davis led the veterans race, and at this corner in your shot, found himself in the tyre barrier. Let's hope he's repaired the bike and is back out ready and racing for this one. Chris Grieve will be in second place. Chase Collymore, we've seen him a couple of times today. Watch his pace on that back straight. He's only 12 years old, Chase, and the smaller stature means he gets plenty of power on that back straight, right up to the top of the hill, and it really is exciting to watch. Ben Klukas will be alongside him in fourth. Ryan Tyers, we know, is a very good rider. He starts in fifth, alongside Jim Lovell, who we've also seen earlier on. One of the other ones from the veterans, the race winner from the veterans, James Mozzie Mostico, starts in 7th place with Phil Dickens for company on row 4. Sean Bandel, again, we've seen him today, and he starts in 9th alongside another returnee. That's Julian Gromit in 10th. Callum Brown and John Buckle are 11th and 12th. Richard Rice is back out there in 13th place. 14th for Dervin Alain. He's back out for another race himself. 15th will be the number 1, Sebastian Barron. Ian Rogerson starts in 16th. Jake Whitaker will be in 17th, and then an unknown rider, unfortunately, is in 18th. Dan Pearson, the Ginger Gandalf, starts in 19th, and Ben Nixon on bike 112 starts last and 20th.
Oh dear. Keep the nicknames coming in. I'm liking them. I'm loving them. There we go. So looks like we've got everyone on the grid slots there, and we're good to go this time around. Let's just see if and when he can redeem himself. That is, of course, Mark Davis I am referring to after his devastating start to his previous race. And here they come, appearing into shot. He's in the lead, and Chase Collymore there, hot on his heels in second place, looking to the inside. Can't do anything this time. There is Monsticker there, a little further down, won the previous race, and let's just see what he can do this time around. And of course, that was the veterans that these guys raced in now, not this time.
Watch Chase up the hill, Anthony. He's going to have this pace. He already got it. Mark Davis is under pressure. Chase can't quite get up the inside there, though.
No, so he tried to go for his signature move at the inside of Oblivion, but couldn't do it that time. And yeah, let's cross the line. We'll see the field come through. 9 or 8 laps to go when they cross the line round the final corner, and you'll get the timing screen come up on in just a moment. So they cross the line, and there it is. So Mark Davis from Collymore, Greaves, Tyers, Klukas, Lovell, Bandel, and Mosticker. Dickens and Buckle round out your top 10. 8 laps to go, and we're still watching our second place man, Chase Collymore, who's under pressure from Greaves and Tyers, just behind, and they're having a good little scrap there. as we go up the back straight past the commentary box. A good look behind from Greaves, and Tyres moves to the inside. That's kind of an open invitation, really, to move down the inside, isn't it? We're looking behind you.
It is, and a little signal from Tyres. He seems to say, let's work together, get up and chase down these top two. Davis and Collymore are going to take some beating. Collymore's right on the back of Davis now. Thinks about a move into turn one, but thinks better of it.
Yep, so 7 laps to go, and there's more moves coming in left, right and centre for the inside of turn one. Oh, no! And
down goes Davis!
Again! Davis down again, down in the veterans, down in the 160s, and oh no, it's a massive shame for that. Massive shame for Davis. But that, of course, does mean that your race leader at the moment is young Chase Collymore.
Yep, 12-year-old Chase takes the lead as Davis goes down on the exit of turn two. He's got the bike going again as he did earlier, and he rejoins, I think, at the back of this one, Anthony.
Yeah, I believe he is all the way at the back. So massive shame for Davis. But we'll keep an eye now on the start of the race, and there you can see it. It is confirmed. Chase Collymore leading at the A race to the stock 160s, but he is under pressure from the guys behind. Tyres, Grieve, Lovell, Clucas and Bandel. They've all concertinaed up now, haven't they?
It's absolute supreme pressure on the young 12-year-old shoulders. He leads them into Luna now. If anything, he's got the advantage that he needs, because that overtaking spot going up the hill is where we've seen, I'd say, at least 90% of our overtakes today. Having that pace to get him out of this corner is really going to help. It's the other areas of the track that he's going to have to defend hard, Anthony. Yeah,
and you can see there on the back straight that he's managed to open that gap slightly as these guys try and jostle for position. This is as they go through. But it's Tyres, Grieve, Lovell still in that position. They've not managed to overtake yet as they heavy under the braking down into the final corner now. 5 laps to go as and when they cross the line. And here they go past the timing beam, and it's a new fastest lap of the race from your race leader, Chase Collymore, 48.559. He's managed to pull out 0.2 of a gap from the guys behind, but you can see the gap there. It doesn't look like it's that much through this infield section, does it?
No, it closes up at this part. Lots of support coming in for Chase over Facebook as he exits Luna Bend. Again, Ryan Tyres in behind him is a very experienced rider, Chris Grieve. And Joe Lovell will be looking for any opportunity as well, as I think Grieve challenges Tyres. He's certainly all over the back wheel, but might think better of making a move at this stage of the race, Anthony. Might fancy himself later on as we get a great shot of that bin bag.
Yeah, that's again quite windy out there, but there we go. Chase still leading the way, and as you can see, lots of support coming in for young Chase there. So plenty of people wanting to see Chase do well in this one, and so are we. And as he's at the front there, he's still keeping these guys at bay. Tyres, Grieve, Lovell, they've not changed position yet as they go through. Lovell looking all over the back of Grieve as they go through, but again, no moves can be taken so far. Onto the back straight. You can see everyone tucking in. There, of course, is Lovell and Grieve as they go up the hill now. Lovell in the 97, really trying to get as much as he can out of that bike as they go into the braking zone now. No one looking down the inside of the final corner here. Again, slotting into position, but Grieve goes slightly wide on the exit of that one there. Here comes Lovell down the inside. Can he make the move stick? Oh, he's got the inside, but he didn't give up the position yet. Now, did they... look after that one as we look further back, and no, Chase
goes Chase.
Chase goes down on the deck. No, massive shame for Chase Collymore, doing so well. Just loses traction out of that turn 2 corner. A massive shame for Chase Collymore there.
He's back underway and will drop down 10 positions or so. Maybe we'll pick up another battle with Mark Davis. Although I actually think Davis has retired to the pits, so that leaves these three now battling it out for the lead. Tyres, Grieve and Lovell. I was about to say, Anthony, it doesn't look like Tyres has got much of a pace at the back straight, and indeed he's been overtaken there, I think, by Chris Grieve. It's Lovell, actually. Apologies. Jim Lovell takes the lead of this race. He's up from 4th on that lap, 3 positions.
Yeah, you're right in saying that. So what a start from him. And fantastic run on this one. 2 laps to go. They'll cross the line and get the last lap board this time around. So it is Lovell, Tyres and Grieve as they go through, and it's clear track ahead of them as there's a bit of talking behind just to see if they try and work together here to try and gain the time as they go up the hill. And look at the closing gap that Grieve had on tyres there up the hill.
As I said, I don't think Tyres is that fast around there, and around the outside goes Grieve.
Yep, so there was a hand signal from Tyres. The last lap board goes out, and Chris Grieve there piling on the pressure on Lovell round turn 1 there. And as they reappear into shot now, here we go, it's last lap time, and Grieve looks to be a man on a mission. Now, Tyres looked down the inside of Grieve there, couldn't quite do anything this time around, but here we go, on the back straight. We saw him really close the gap, and that's a mistake from Chris Grieve, and he's absolutely devastated with that, and he's lost a position to Tyres. So any chance Grieve had on taking the lead from Lovell has vanished in just that small movement.
Yeah, looks like the race is going to head to Jim Lovell. He heads up the top of the hill now. One more corner to go. Looks like it's going to be Lovell, Tyres and Grieve.
Yeah, and as they cross the, or exit the final corner now, the checker flag will come out, and Jim Lovell takes checker flag. Ryan Tyres takes second, and Chris Grieve third place. James Mossticker crosses in fourth. Ben Klukas in fifth place. Sean Bendell crosses in sixth. And then next to cross the line is Chase Collymore crossing the line in seventh, which I have to say is a great recovery from that after that down earlier on. But yeah, Julian Gromit crosses in eighth, Phil Dickens in ninth, John Buckle in 10th place. Daniel Pearson in 11th, Callum Brown in 12th, Jake Whittaker in 13th place, Sebastian Barron in 14th, and Richard Rice rounding out your 15th.
Next up, we'll go back through all those classes. It's round 2 of races, starting with your Junior SM65s, Metrokit GP, IMR Racing, UK Mini GP, and your Junior SM 140s.
So we'll be heading out very shortly for the next grid, and there they are, actually making their way out into the circuit. So we'll get going for this one, and we'll get the grids up for you in just a moment. Here they are. So Harley McCabe starting on pole position, Ryan Frost in second, Luca Allen in third place with Harvey Lathrop in fourth, Luca Hopkins in fifth place with Mason Greasley in sixth, Nathan Ellis Ward in seventh with Charlotte Macuso in eighth. Daniel Goodman in ninth, Lucas Hill in 10th, Teo Collymore in 11th, Ty Butler in 12th, Zach Weston in 13th, Ocean Tanser in 14th, or Oshan Thomas in 14th, Alfie Davidson in 15th, and George Bowes in 16th. Jacob Stevenson in 17th, Holly Reeves 18th, Ruby Booth in 19th, Harry Pell in 20th, and then Reece Stevenson, George Wood, Nathan Ellsworth. No time set, 21, 22, and 23.
You're getting there with the pronunciation of Osham. It's been a long journey this season, but here we are, one round before the end, and I think you're nearly ready.
Okay, we are one round before the end, and I would just like to say to everyone who watches races, watches the streams, anything like that, I do massively apologise if I've got names wrong, but I am terrible at pronouncing names. I really am. I have
just commentary in general.
That's harsh. But there we go.
It was there. I had to go for it.
Yeah, I had to go for it. But yeah, no, it's say it's been first season for me for British Mini Bikes, and I have to say I've thoroughly enjoyed it. We've had massively changed conditions, haven't we? But yeah, we'll get going for this race in just a moment.
Absolutely. We've got an issue with one of our riders. They've pulled up round about where everyone else has been crashing in Luna Bend. I can't quite see who it is from the small preview of the shot we've got there. It's a red and white bike. Can't make out the number, but it's the 67, I think, which is Jacob Stevenson. Jacob Stevenson down there on the Metrokit, one of our new riders. and looks like he's not going to be able to make the start of this race, unfortunately. There's the medic there, actually,
Medic
trying to help
man,
him get
medic,
ready.
now mechanic.
He's a bike medic.
You've been promoted.
From human to bike. Everyone else there on the grids, I think they're going to wait for him to come around, although he's not yet got going. Jacob's back on the bike, and yes, he's underway, so I think they'll wait for him to join the back of the grid, hopefully. And the riders all waiting for him. He's just exiting Luna now, although he doesn't seem to have the power. No, he's stopped again, Anthony. There's something not right with that bike. I think they're going to have to recover it before they... Oh, no, he is away. There we go.
Messages of support coming in for this category. And it looks like that bike's a bit unhappy, doesn't it?
Yes, apologies. It's not Jacob Stevenson. It is George Bowers, as those of you who read the back of his letters noticed. There's two 67s starting right next to each other in George Bowers and Jacob Stevenson. I was thinking that doesn't look anything like a Metra kit, that bike. And it's because it's not. It's a JSM 140. So George Bowers having slight issues, but he should be joining the back of the grid in a few moments' time. The rest of the riders are ready and waiting to go. Harley McCabe to the left-hand side of your shot on pole position. Ryan Frost to the right in second place with the luminous wheels. Third place on the Metra kit, Luca Allen.
There we go, and we saw this race last time around. It was the first race of the day, and they had their 3 extra laps, and they're being told to clear the grid now. And we'll get this one going. So we've got flags up at the back and at the front. And we're going to get going for the first of the second races. And it's a stall in the middle of the pack there. Everyone managing to avoid 2 stallers there as well. Big shame for them. They'll get restarted. And we are under and away. So Harlan McCabe still leading. Ryan Frost in second and Luca Allen in third. Copy of what we had for race 1 of the day. And let's just see what Luca Allen can do this time around. So Luca was clearly quicker on the last race. Let's see if he can try and put these together again.
McCabe and Frost going at it at the front already. Those two lead the charge up the hill for the first time.
Yeah, they do. And say they'll cross the finishing the lap soon. And into the final corner. Grid is clear already. So that's good, and here come the leaders. So across the line, we'll get your timing screen. And 8 laps to go, and it's Harley McCabe with the fastest lap of the race at the moment with a 48.9. Let's see if that changes further down the less laps we do. That made no sense, but there we go. Commentary. There we go. So McCabe from Frost from Allen. Lathrop there a little further down. These 3 again broken away. So they're... again, carbon copy of what happened last time around. Frost piling on the pressure on McCabe, and he's going to be looking for a move somewhere along these next couple of corners. Probably not into the final corner. We've not seen many moves down there, if any, I would say. A lot through turn 1, though.
Yep, 1 or 2, and they've come across the first back marker. That's given Harley McCabe a little bit of breathing space, actually. He dealt with it better than Ryan Frost did. Through they come again. Just a second separates these guys. There's not much in it at all. But just about enough to keep Harley McCabe in the lead for now. Round that second corner they come into Luna.
Yeah, Holly Reeves was the back marker there that was the riders managing to get around. Here comes Luca Allen, though. He's got a good pressure on Ryan Frost after that mishap with the back marker. And onto the back straight now, past the commentary box and up the hill. Can't quite get Ryan Frost this time around. So still in third place for Luca Allen, but obviously still leading class. One of the only riders on the MiniGP 1 quarters there.
On the subject of nicknames, Anthony, Joshua Williams, 78 Racing, has commented, "Come on, the Butler, 97. Not sure if that's a nickname or he's just misspelled Ty with H being right next to Y on the keyboard. But I like the nickname the Butler.
Yeah, it is good, yeah.
If it is a typo, I'm making it a nickname. Ryan Frost sets the fastest lap of the race in pursuit of our leader, Harley McCabe.
Yep, so new personal best coming in all the way through the field as well. Everyone going through. A little further down, here is the 17. That is Charlotte Macuso, battling for in third at the moment. Daniel Goodman just in front of her. That is the battle for second place for the Mini GPs. And, of course, we'll keep an eye on that one as well. So, a close battle on that. So, here's the second place man, Daniel Goodman, of the Mini GP class. Overall, 5th place at the moment. So, have to keep an eye on that one. So, close pressure from behind as well.
Look at that gap for the lead, Anthony. It's a 10th in it now between McCabe and Frost. We're going to have to cut back to that as and when we can. They're going into Luna right now.
But there we go. But and Lucas Hill again piling on the pressure for Charlotte Bacuzo as well. So back with the leaders as we go up onto the back straight. And here comes Luca Allen. Again, Luca Allen holding that inside line. Again, just can't get the power on the back straight, can he? So there we go. Slots back, though, into third. 5 laps to go. And they'll cross the line with 4 to go now. And back down the hill into the tricky braking zone of the final corner.
It was less than 2/10 in it last time around. I think Harley McCabe's had a bit better lap, but you look at that, how close they are now.
Yeah.
In terms of time, it's nothing at all. It's 0.19 of a second. Frost can get very, very close, but he can't get past.
Yeah, Ryan Frost, good pressure that he can pile on Harley McCabe around the final corner. Really closes that gap. And here we go now round Luna. And again, just Luca Allen can really hold that bike around that corner, can't he? So there we go. Let's see what we can do. Onto the back straight. Another back marker there, just in front. And always seems to have held up Luca Allen there. Luca Allen's not managed to get past so easily, and that's allowed Ryan Frost to break away slightly. Looked like he was going to go for a move down the inside of the final corner. Thought against it. Now he's right up behind Harley McCabe as they go into turn 1 again, into turn 2. Let's just see who comes out on top on this one. They'll get, they're on their penultimate lap the next time they cross the line.
That gap between them has been less than 0.2 of a second. The last 3 times they've crossed the start-finish line. It is about as close as it can get without any real overtakes going on. Frost takes a tighter line there and then comes out onto the straight. Just doesn't seem to have the top pace differential to make that stick. I think you need a few extra mile per hour, Anthony, and he just doesn't seem to be able to reach it.
No, it is a shame, isn't it? So trying to stick into that slipstream, see what you can do. Down into the braking zone again. They'll cross the line. It's penultimate lap time now before they get the last lap board. And again, Ryan Frost is just looking for down the inside of turn 1, just eyeing it up really, seeing if there is an opportunity to go down there and see if it is an opportunity to do that when he sees the last lap board. Of course, risky time to do it, but yeah, anything could happen really. But 2 laps to go, and these 3 have absolutely flown away from it. They're 17 seconds clear from 4th place.
Yeah, Ryan Frost must know that time is ticking away. He's going to see the last lap board this time around. I can't see an opportunity for him, unfortunately, Anthony. He's not as close this time going up the hill.
He always seems to be close as he comes into this section here, though. You can see how much he closes it down and looks for a move. And there you go, runs slightly wide there, does Harley McCabe. And down the inside, he knows it was the last lap, and there was that move that we saw there. Harley McCabe with a new fastest time of the race, though, 48.02. 48.08 from Frost, and Allen with a 48.30. So they're absolutely identical on times. But like I say, last lap board is out, and there's only 2 more opportunities to do it now, isn't there?
It just goes to show those last lap times that they are too close in pace. They can't differentiate between the 2 of them. The top speed on these bikes must be absolutely identical to the mile an hour.
Yep, it must be. And here we go up the hill. Now, this is where we've seen Ryan Frost the closest. And is this where we're going to see him make a move on Harley McCabe into the final corner? No, he's not close enough this time. He's going to have to settle for second, but he's got a good run out the final corner. You can see him edging the bike forward to try and take it. Can't take it. Harley McCabe takes the win from Ryan Frost. Luca Allen in 3rd place. And there's going to be a bit of a wait for 4th place because they are, 21 seconds down the road.
Absolutely mad, Anthony. They're great riding from that front 3. Take nothing away from the rest of the field. They've had good races as well. Harvey Lathrop should be coming around in 4th now.
Yep, here crossing the line there is Daniel Goodman from Lucas Hill. Charlotte Bacuzo crosses the line now as well, all for the Mini GP class. And then Mason Greasley crosses the line as well with Collymore, Ward, Hopkins taking 11th, Butler taking 12th, Thomas running down the grid there. Who have we got coming up next?
Next up, it's the Pit Bike Stock 140 Race 2B.
So here's the grid for the Pit Bike Stock 140s. Race 2B. Joe Woodward will be starting on pole position with Dan Merrin in second place. John O'Dowd in third. Brendan Downey in fourth place. Ian Walker in fifth with Chris Edwards in sixth. Brian Benton Betton, I should say, in seventh. And James Eyre in eighth. Craig Spencer in ninth. Darren Hall in 10th. Matthew Corbett in 11th. Adam Pipes in 12th place. Phil Harvey in 13th, Jack Wolf in 14th, and Daniel Pearson in 15th, with Ty Kinton in 16th place. Simon Wadsworth, Ben Sutter, Stephen Tempest, Chris Grieve, all no time set. So they'll be heading round onto the grid in just a moment. As you can see them starting to line up there. We'll get this B race underway in just a moment, so hopefully plenty of action from these guys. Rain hasn't stopped yet, for those who are wondering. It is still raining.
Of course, this race sees the return of the Ginger Gandalf. A little excitement. Joe Woodward back out in this one, looking to make amends for earlier. Could have had the win. Just missed out.
And I've got my bike back. There we go, my mic went for a walk. There we go. So, everyone lining up there. And we'll get this one going. So, apparently we're supposed to have Daniel Pearson in the front row, but I don't think he is. I think he is, actually. But let's see. Green flag goes down, and it's a good start. Big wheelies there from the mid-pack. 9 laps to go on this one. They've started as we go through turns 2. And up the back straight, and it's a good start from the 46 of Joe Woodward. And as they go through, the rest of the field going through as well. Everyone just slotting into position. No overtakes yet at the moment. Onto the back straight, though. And here we go. So, under pressure, third and fourth, and 3 wide as well, further back, going around the outside. Someone's bike's not got the RPM at the top end there, really, has they? As the rest of them slot through.
That's Pearson on the 77. He started from the back in this one, and will be charging through as he did earlier. Woodward leads at the minute.
He will indeed. So, here we go over the start-finish line. The tower will appear, and we'll be able to see who is where. So, Joe Woodward leading the way from John O'Dowd, and then it's Ian Walker, Pearson, Edwards, Downey, Merrin, Spencer, Tempest, Hall, Corbett, Pipes, Harvey, and Wolf, all going through. So all riders still in the race at the moment. This is the battle for second place, of course. John O'Dowd and Ian Walker. Keep an eye on them, and then further back now, a big gaggle of bikes there. I believe that's Brendan Downey, Dan Merrin, Craig Spencer, and Stephen Tempest. I think they were most of the ones in that group now. Here comes the 77 of Daniel Pearson on Ian Walker, though, as they go up the hill now, and it looks like he's got the inside line into the final corner, and he's managed to get that move done.
Yeah, great move there from the Ginger Gandalf up the inside at the top of the hill, and he's moving on now to John O'Dowd in second place. Maybe get a chance to make that move happen down into Luna. Looking out the window now, he hasn't got close enough, I'm afraid. Joe Woodward still leads them. John O'Dowd here in the white leathers, second place, but up the hill, Pearson is very, very strong.
You've got Eagle Edwards in 5th place at the moment on the X23, some 3 seconds further down the road from this battle, but as you can see, the rest of them all slotting through. 7 laps to go on this one as they'll come round the crest. And you can see there the 46 of Joe Woodward is opening up that gap. He has a look over the shoulder, though. Always the wrong thing to do, because now John O'Dowd looks to the inside.
And Pearson going to the inside.
Oh, it's Pearson, sorry, going to the inside. Yes, of course. He managed to get past O'Dowd, didn't he? So Pearson takes the lead now, and Woodward now pulling back the pressure.
Yeah, Pearson to the front in just 3 laps. It took him a lot longer earlier on to cut through the field, but an excellent first lap from the Ginger Gandalf. Gave him the best start possible. Woodward now going to try get back at him, but I think Pearson's pace is far too strong.
It is incredibly good pace that Pearson's got, and you can see there a bit of a wobble as he's hit the bump as they go up the hill. Again, they'll come round the corner into shot, down the hill, into the final corner, and they all get through there. So the gap opening up. We'll keep an eye on the positions. Quick rundown of them for you. Pearson, Woodward, they'll cross the line. O'Dowd in 3rd, Walker in 4th. And then it's Merrin in 5th, Edwards in 6th, Spencer 7th, Tempest 8th, 9th is Hall, and Downey running a top 10.
We've got the best nicknames in this one. Tempest Tornado is the name of Stephen Tempest on the number 2 bike. To add to the Ginger Gandalf and Eagle Edwards.
There we go, so the
Keep
nickname.
them coming in on Facebook.
Yeah, or YouTube. Coming in hot and fast, 5 laps to go.
Pearson's not quite dropped at Woodward as quickly as I thought he would, Anthony.
No.
Considering the rate at which he got to the front, I thought he would have dropped Woodward. And the gap was a second last time round. I don't think it's even going to be that much. I think Woodward might have closed in on that last lap.
I don't think so. I think it's opened up. But he has set a personal best.
0.2 of a second he shaved off the lead in that one.
Really?
This race is far from over.
Oh, there we go. 4 laps to go. Anything could happen. But they have both pulled away from the 2 behind them of O'Dowd and Walker. They've left them slightly quite far behind. Back marker up ahead, and it just looks like Woodward's a bit nicer around that corner there, doesn't he? Managing to hold it a bit tighter to the apex.
Yeah, I think Pearson's got the pace up the hill, but in the twistier first part of the lap, Woodward seems to have the advantage. And if he can keep with him here, he may well be in with a shot later on, as the back marker proves to be not too much trouble for either of them. Down now towards the last corner. There'll be 3 laps to go after this one.
Some quick maths there, and the rain seems to be starting up again. It did die off slightly. As you can see there, the track, the rain isn't as, or the water isn't as clear on the track, but the rain is coming down again as the rest of the field cross the line again. A good battle for 5th place. You've got Edwards, Spencer, Tempest, and Hall. They're having a good little scrap as well. And there's a rider down. It's
That's
the number
Tempest.
2. It's 2, and yep.
Tempest Tornado hits the deck.
And loses all momentum. And here's a close little battle that we've got out there. Here's the 23 of Edwards, Eagle Edwards, we should say, as he soars up the hill. And he's got close pressure behind him from Spencer. And Spencer's, I would say, his bag's not helping him aerodynamically, but a new fastest lap of the race from our second place man, Joe Woodward. And that's the 18 as well, or the 181. Yeah, Darren Hall. That's Darren Hall as well, has gone down. and is trying to restart the bike, and he's in a very precarious spot there as well.
That's on the exit turn 2.
Yeah, as that rain starts to come down again, and riders struggling with the conditions.
Here's that battle for the lead then. After that fastest lap from Woodward, he got the gap down to 0.6 of a second on that last lap. He's got 2 laps remaining, or rather 1 and a little bit, 1 and a corner now as they come down into the final bend. Doesn't look like he's made much an impression on that gap this time around, so it's going to be a late lunge if anything. That's that gap, Anthony. It's
he's
gone out
up
again, isn't it?
Yeah, opened up by 0.2 of a second there. So even after that fastest lap, he's not managed to close it down. So
We've got a rider down in Luna. We'll see him now coming through the shot. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
There's a white bike on the exit. There it is. It's
oh, that is Edward. No, it's not
Spencer.
Edwards.
It's Spencer.
It is Spencer. Yep.
41.
Spencer goes down. A thumbs up from him there. So.
Thumbs down for his race.
Yeah, massive shame there for Chris Spencer there. Last lap time for our race leaders, Pearson and Woodward, are the two who have broken away from the pack. It was 0.8 of a lap this time around. It doesn't look like Woodward's managed to close it up, but he definitely has closed it up a considerable amount. Last lap's out, and checker flag comes out this time, and Woodward sets the fastest lap that time as well. 50.618, but has to settle for second place.
Yeah, great riding from the both of them. Woodward definitely had the pace to challenge Pearson, but it came too late in the race. The last but 2 lap and that final lap, he was far, far quicker than Dan Pearson, but he needed that every lap for the last 4 to have made an impression. John O'Dowd comes home in 3rd, Ian Walker in 4th, Dan Moran will be 5th, Eagle Edwards in 6th place, Brendan Downey 7th, 8th Matt Corbett, Adam Pipes is due to come through in 9th, followed by Stephen Tempest, the Tempest Tornado in 10th. Here we go for Adam Pipes. Tempest Tornado will be 10th, but our race winner is the Ginger Gandalf.
Up next, of course, will be the A race. Well, here we go for the Parker Racing A race, and here comes the grid. Starting on pole position, Ben Lord with Ryan Tyres in 2nd place, Ben Klukas in 3rd place with Mick Lord in 4th, Jim Lovell in 5th, Phil Dickens in 6th place, Chase Collymore in 7th, and Sean Betton in 8th place. Simon Patterson in 9th place, Chris Heimers in 10th, John Buckle in 11th place with Darren Alline there in 12th. Simon James Dean in 13th place with Louis Caldo in 14th place. Max Bartle in 15th with Ben Nixon in 16th place. Scott Ray in 17th with Matthew Davis in 18th. Sebastian Barron 19th, and rounding out your 20 is Ian Rogerson on the 111 with a 1 minute 11 lap time. What a fun. So bikes heading onto the grid. Again, rain. Do you know what? I think the rain has stopped.
It hasn't really rained for the last 10-20 minutes or so. We've been reasonably lucky in that regard. Lap times, I think, might start to pick up a little bit, unless riders go off and drag dirt onto the track.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's definitely not what you want, and that is, of course, on the racing line as well. So probably the best to clear that away. So most of it has gone now, and we're going to get this one going. So as you can see there, Ben Lord on the front row with Ryan Tyers.
Yes, I think I've got the result up from earlier, and do indeed. Chase Collymore came second in this one, so keep an eye on him.
There we go, green flag down, and it's a good start from all. Everyone getting away well. No one tripping over each other as of yet.
Chase Collimore's not got away, Anthony.
Has he not? Was
He's
that
stalled on the grid?
Oh, massive shame for Chase there, but back with the leaders. The 55 looking down the inside of the 48, so Tyres on Lord. Couldn't quite do it that time. And here comes Mick Lord. Mick Lord up into P3 now, so he's doing a sterling job there. Good start from him. And there's Chase managing to get away now. Bit of work, though, has Chase got. Tyres on the outside of Lord as they go up into Oblivion. Can't do anything this time. Slots back to the inside. Bit of a wobble there from Mick Lord as he hits the bump as they go up the hill. And have they managed to keep it upright? Yes, he has. So it looked like he was getting a bit close to the grass.
Yeah, 48 and 55, Lord and Tyres getting very close to each other, and expect to see that carry on throughout the race. That three behind them as well, led by Nick Lord, closely followed by Jim Lovell and Ben Clucas, close together as well. John Buckle is in 6th, Dervin Allain is in 7th, and unknown rider 8th, Sean Betton 9th, and Max Bartle 10th place.
Comment on Facebook from Dan Jackson. What's the difference between the SM140A and B classes? That's purely because there are so many of them. In qualifying, they have to separate them for the races. So it's just the lower 20 from qualifying.
Here we go, then back with our leaders. Ben Lord still holds it at the top of the hill, but he's under immense amount of pressure from Ryan Tyres. And now Jim Lovell, who's got ahead of Mick Lord on that lap and closed right up on the leading pair.
They have now, and these guys giving us a close little race now as they cross the line. Again, personal best, fastest lap of the race that last time around did go to Jim Lovell with a 48.443. And of course, that is the man in 3rd place on the 97 machine. So keep a very close eye on him as they come through the boot section there of Luna onto the back straight, and now here comes the 55 of Ryan Tyres. He's got a good run, he's on the inside. Can he hold it to the apex here for Oblivion? No, he can't. He has to concede. Ben Lord still holds the lead at the moment as they go up the hill. They come down the hill now into the final corner. Under braking goes Tyres down the inside of the final corner, makes the move down. It's the first move that we've seen there all weekend. And what a move that was from Ryan Tyres as they cross the line, and under pressure immediately from Ben Lord. And Ben Lord's now lost 2 positions in those 2 corners. Jim Lovell moves up into P2 now on the 97.
Excellent riding from all 3 of them there, and a great move for the lead from Ryan Tyres, I will say.
Straight away, Ben Lord's come back at Jim Lovell, so he's lost that position already. So Lovell back down into 3rd. Ben Lord now back into P2. But there's a little bit of a gap now. Ryan Tyres pulls away. But on the straight there, it looks like it's massively been closed by Ben Lord. Ben Lord is now all right behind him. And is he going to go for a carbon copy move? He goes down the inside of Tyres at the crest of the hill. He's got the position. And that is Ben Lord back into the lead.
Yeah, great Dyson from these. Ben Lord goes from 3rd last time over the line to 1st. This time around, Jim Lovell drops down to 3rd. Tyres is in 2nd.
Personal best times from Ben Lord and Mick Lord as they come across the line. Also, Ben Clucas as well also puts in a personal best just behind. Those two slightly gaining on these guys, but there's a 2.2 second gap from the lead at the moment. So it is still Ben Lord from Tyres and Lovell. A little bit of a wobble from Lovell there as he tries to get on the power onto the back straight. Has a good look behind him just to see what the gap is. It's about 2 seconds, so you've got a good bit of space there. Bit of breathing space. Here we go up the hill. No position changes as of yet. No one close enough for a move with 5 laps to go.
Quick word on Chase Collymore. He's recovered from his stall on the grid and come up to 12th place. He would be battling for the top 10, I think, by the end of this one. Dan Jackson says, thank you for answering his question. Hopefully racing next season. Dan, if you are racing next season, come and see us in the comments box. I'll sort you out with a free Anthony Jordan signed photo.
What are you talking about? Here we go, though, 4 laps to go. And Ben Lord's still leading the way. The gap less than 1/10 of a second when they crossed the line last time. And they're going to come into shot now as they come out of the crest. And that's not our race leaders yet at the moment. Oh, here they are. They're coming up the back straight now. And it's super, super close from these guys. It looks like Ben Lord's gone slightly wide, though, and here comes Ryan Tyres. Ryan Tyres with a much better run at the top there, but here comes Lovell as well round the outside of Tyres for the final corner. Has to slot back. That would have been a very brave move round the outside of the final corner. Definitely not one that's been done over these weekends.
We've seen one up the inside of that corner, Anthony. One round the outside in the same race would be something of a shock. These three are absolutely nail-biting. To the inside goes the 55. Oh, they're so close going into Luna, but Ryan Tyres takes the lead.
There we go. It was a good move from Tyres, well calculated, and he just slots it down the inside of Ben Lord there into Luna. But now here we go onto the back straight, and then we know that Ben Lord's much faster here. We know that he's got the power, and there he goes. He slides past him as they go up the hill again. Ben Lord retakes the position from Ryan Tyres, and again Lovell with the slipstream of both the riders manages to close right back up again, and it looks like he tries to go to the outside of the final corner again, but no, to no avail.
Down in 9th place, Chase Collymore set the fastest lap of the race, so he's actually outpacing these three. What a shame it is we can't see him at the front of this one. Hopefully we'll see him back out later in the 160s and battle out for the lead again.
2 laps to go, and here we go into Luna again down the inside. Can't quite do it this time from Tyres, so Tyres has to settle still for second place as they go round Luna onto the back straight now. So who's going to have the power, who's going to have the slipstream? And here we go onto the back straight, and it's time to build those revs. Who's got it? Tyres looks behind him, he's still there, but Lovell doesn't go for a move. He's not close enough, and neither is Tyres on Lord. They stay in position as they go up the hill over the crest in towards the final corner.
Down the hill they come. Anyone looking at the inside? No, thank you. They'll see the last lap board now, Anthony, and that might set a few things going in their heads.
I suspect it probably will. We've seen Tyres go for late lunges through this race. He sets a new personal best time this time of a 48.489, so he's got the pace. Mick Lord also 48.902, new personal best, and he's got the inside line into Luna. Can't do it, but here comes Lovell around the outside. No, again, he can't do it either, so he's again still in the same positions as we build the revs up again onto the back straight. Now again, Ben Lord still in front, Tyres behind from Lovell, and let's see who can get it this time. They build up the revs as they go down the straight. They can't quite get close enough, can they? So they still stay in the same positions, and it's the final corner time, and here comes Tyres. Tyres looks to the inside of the top of the crest, can't do it, slots back into position. Lovell down the inside, and here comes Tyres, can't do it, stays in that position. Lovell goes to the outside. Is he going to try and get the switch back? He can't, so it's going to be Ben Lord from Ryan Tyres and Jim Lovell across the line. Cracking race.
Fantastic stuff from all three of them. Through 4th place comes Mick Lord, well earned. Ben Clucas. Then in 5th, 6th is the unknown rider. Chase Collymore is going to come through in 7th. Great recovery from him. He beats out John Buckle in 8th place, just crossing the line now. And then Dervin Alain and Sebastian Barron actually nicks in front of Dervin to take 9th and 10th.
There we go. So cracking race from the stock 140s for the A race. We head over now to the Super Minis. They are going to be next up on circuit. So here come the Super Minis out onto the circuit, and here is your grid. Dane Blackburn will be starting on pole position with Joe Dickinson in 2nd, Reece Stevenson in 3rd with Matt Bolsover in 4th. Hopefully he can get a better race this time around. Luke Bithell in 5th place, Tom Lewis in 6th, James Edwards in 7th place with Joshua Bednarak in 8th. Lawrence Wardle in 9th place, Aaron Howe in 10th, Rob Booth in 11th, Callum Brown in 12th place, Callum Ricketts in 13th, Sam Crooks in 14th, Mike Edwards in 15th, Jack Bednarak in 16th place on the number 19. Mark Evans in 17th place, Dean Bednarak in 18th, Simon Chambers in 19th, and Nathan Smith in 20th. Rounding out your grid of 21 bikes is Mike Smallbones.
Good race this one earlier, Anthony. Hopefully more of the same coming up now.
Hopefully so.
Joe Dickinson, Dane Blackburn, Reece Stevenson, Tom Lewis, all good riders.
Do I dare say it looks like it's brightening up?
I think you can go that far. I mean, this shot particularly doesn't really show quite how bright it's become. Yeah, to the right of our comms box is quite favourable weather. To the left, which is where you're looking, a big grey cloud remains.
Yes. So here we go on the grid. Final visor check for Reece Stevenson.
That's Dane Blackburn, isn't it?
Nope.
No, you're right. It is Reece. No, it's.
It's
the
Reece
number
Stevenson.
says 555.
It's Reece Stevenson.
Yes.
You can tell by his helmet. There we go. But there we go. Flag up at the back. We haven't got a flag up at the front yet. Flag goes down at the back. There we go. So, not ready as of yet. I'm not sure what we are waiting on. I can't see anything on the side. So it looks like we're ready to go this time. Flag back up at the back. Flag up at the front. And we are good to go racing. Flag drops and we're away. And it's a great start from your leader, Dane Blackburn. Joe Dickinson holding on to that one. Reece Stevenson's with a better start this time, managing to hold on to 4th place. So only dropped down 1 position this time.
Yeah, good start from all. There's no one remaining on the grid, thankfully, in this race.
So all getting away. So again, as they go through, 3rd place is the 30 of Tom Lewis. So managed to get that position from Reece Stevenson's across the line.
Dickinson comes back at Blackburn, takes the lead. In fact, Blackburn's not got the pace at all down the straight, loses 2 positions.
Yeah, so I think he was a bit startled by the first one and then really startled by the second one of Tom Lewis, who just sent it down the inside there. And yeah, he manages to lose 2 positions from that one. And so
Dickinson leads from lap 1, although he's under pressure now from Tom Lewis into turn 1.
He is indeed. Tom Lewis, that's the fastest lap there on the first lap, 46.880. So he's definitely got the pace. So let's just see what happens as we carry on through this race. 8 laps to go. And round Luna, and let's see what they can do on the pace. And there he drops the bike, gets on the power too soon, and the bike goes sliding, runs to recover it. But as you can see there, because it's the start of the race, all those bikes are so close. Tries to get that bike going, but massive shame there for Tom Lewis from 2nd place.
Yeah, Tom Lewis out of the contention for this one. And it looks to be we have a new 2nd place man, I think. Anthony, is that Reece Stevenson I've seen? Yes, it is indeed. He's taken Dane Blackburn on this one. Luke Bithell is now up into 4th. That's James Edwards in 5th as well. And we've got 2 riders down here and another one struggling on the exit of Luna. That's
I think
30.
Tom Lewis, Sam Crooks, Aaron Howe, I think, have all gone down, and a red flag has come out for the Super Minis Race 2 here with 7 laps to go. And I believe this is due to the incident at the top of, or the beginning of Oblivion. We've got Tom Lewis, Sam Crooks, believed involved. But red flag has come out. And
this race will be paused, which is a shame, as it was shaping up to be a good race. At the front, Dickinson and Stevenson getting the better of Blackburn in the early stages.
So for anyone who is still watching on the stream, thank you very much for your patience. As you can see there, ambulance has just arrived on the circuit to deal with one of the riders who did go down up at the top end of the circuit. So he is being tended to at the moment. So we will get this hopefully underway soon, making sure, of course, the rider safety is the #1 priority, which, of course, why this has been called to just doubly make sure everything is all in order. So you can see there the incident at the top of Oblivion there. But yeah, we'll try to get the racing underway, hopefully very, very soon.
hello to everyone still with us here at Three Sisters. I'm afraid we've made the decision to cut the race day short. Unfortunately, the ambulance is still in attendance here for that incident in the last race, and we will not be able to continue with the racing. It's a shame. We've seen some great racing here today at Three Sisters from all our classes, and we will not be able to bring you the final 4 races, but we will be back in 4 weeks' time with the final round of British Mini Bikes 2019 with round 10 at Tattershall.
From myself, Anthony Jordan, and Jacob Harris, thank you very much again for watching Alpha Live stream here for British Mini Bikes round 9. And again, we shall see you at the final round at Tattershall.